against this Pella team, but Indianola's only loss in the Little Hawkeye came to Pella as well. So that's the kind of weird season you're going to be seeing in baseball. Pretty much everybody's going to be able to beat anybody on any given night in this conference, and it's a full night in the conference as well as single varsity games not only here, but Grinnell is at Indianola, which is a battle of two of the top teams in the conference so far. Pella Christian taking on Dallas Center Grimes in a single varsity game to break that tie at the 4th and 5th position, and then Newton faces Norwalk toward the bottom of this conference as well. Oskaloosa would love to have this kind of win to give themselves some confidence booster. Obviously, it's Pella, a rivalry game. Pella knows that Oskaloosa views them as a chief rival of theirs, and it's going to be very important for Pella to come out here and get themselves back in the conference mix by getting a win over Oskaloosa. On the other side, if you're Oskaloosa, you want to hold serve here on your home field and get yourself in good position, get yourself one up on Pella, as those two teams, Pella and Oskaloosa, will play in the doubleheader of the meetings on Monday, June 26th at Pella. So won't be easy there either, but it would give you a little bit of breathing room against this Little Dutch team, which has been the best team in this conference the last couple of years, led by Grant Judkins, who actually was playing very important innings for the Iowa Hawkeyes as they made a trip to the regionals and almost made it to the Super Regionals, but a fantastic season as a freshman for Grant Judkins for the Iowa Hawkeyes. They're definitely missing him here in Pella, but we'll see if other guys can step up and see if they can get better as the season wears on for head coach Jesse Jablonski. We'll take our first break of the game, and in the pregame show, we'll give you the starting lineups for both these teams as they continue to warm up. Oskaloosa out there taking their infield right now, and Pella will be following them. And when we come back, we'll give you the lineup, starting pitcher statistics, and important batting statistics before we get going here as the single varsity game in the Little Hawkeye Conference between Oskaloosa and Pella is on the way right after this on the No Coast Network.
Dreams start early, illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
At Gardner Collier Jewelry, our goal has always been to provide you with the very best jewelry for your money. From plain gold wedding bands to the most exquisite diamond ring, Gardner Collier has it. Our huge selection is sure to exceed your expectations, and our service is second to none. From sterling silver fashion jewelry to the one-of-a-kind diamond fashion piece, Gardner Collier can fill your jewelry desires. For the very best value in fine jewelry, choose Gardner Collier, Quincy Place Mall, Ottumwa, and Penn Central Mall, Oskaloosa.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and beyond. Whether commercial, residential, or land, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be the area's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
Experience the Bruxfort's difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
Oskaloosa advancing back into their own dugout. Pella out to take their infield and outfield warm-ups. And you are listening and watching us live here on the No Coast Network. We appreciate you for joining us as Oskaloosa and Pella getting ready to take each other on in what should be a fantastic single varsity game between two of the heavyweights of the Little Hawkeye Conference the last couple of years. And we'll see if this continues to be the case. Before we get into the lineups and the statistics for tonight's ball game, let's go ahead and take a peek at the Class 3A rankings right now. The rankings that were released earlier this week find Pella and Oskaloosa, who started the season both in the top 7 of the teams in the Class 3A rankings. This, of course, from the Iowa High School Baseball Coaches Association. But both those teams, Oskaloosa and Pella, both fell out of the rankings. Pella is the second team out, Oskaloosa the fourth team out, and that, of course, was several games ago at this point, and we'll see what happens. Grinnell was just behind Oskaloosa as well, out of this Little Hawkeye Conference, and they started out 9-1 their first 10 games. And not a lot's changed for them either. They're 11-2, which is unbelievable. This was the team that finished at the bottom of this conference last year, and they are playing some very good baseball. Of their 2 losses, however, the Oskaloosa Indians were able to knock them off as well. So Oskaloosa knows that Grinnell might be the surprise team in this conference, but they do have a win already over the Tigers in league play this season. They'd like to have that kind of advantage over Pella as well. And Indianola, who currently leads this particular conference at 5-1 heading into tonight's action, they are the first team out of the rankings in Class 4A. So Oskaloosa wouldn't necessarily have to worry about Indianola come postseason time, but Indianola is a very good baseball team and could find themselves in the rankings as part of the Little Hawkeye Conference in Class 4A as well. Let's go ahead and give you the lineups. First for the visitors, you'll see them out there on our live video stream. It is the Pella Little Dutch under head coach Jesse Jablonski. Leadoff batter is going to be the junior center fielder Avery Van Zee. He'll be followed by senior shortstop Tyler Hillman. The 3 spot is occupied by the junior catcher Jaden Rolfs. Cleanup spot is Joel Ryder. He is the senior at third base. Pitcher tonight is Landon Vanderleest. He is a junior. Senior left fielder Caleb Piersma bats 6th. The sophomore right fielder is Gabe Thomas batting 7th. Freshman first baseman Camden Lambert bats in the 8th spot, and then the 9th spot is occupied by Caden Miedema, the junior second baseman. On the other side for the Indians of Oskaloosa, under head coach Clint Gingrich at 9-5 on the year and 4-2 in the conference. It'll be Tyler Miller, who's raked all season long so far. The freshman is in left field tonight, and he's leading off. They'll be followed by Tucker Nunikoven getting the start at the number 2 spot. He's in center field for this ball game. He is a junior. The number 3 spot has Ethan Arnold for the Indians. He is the senior catcher. The DH is Blake Van Veldhuizen batting cleanup. He is a junior, and he is batting for the right fielder, sophomore Cole Kraber. Peyton Krause is in the 5 spot. He is the senior first baseman, followed by the senior second baseman Bennett Spry, whose bat has struggled so far this season. Coach Gingrich moving him down in the order, trying to get him going. Number 7 spot is junior Nick Harrington. He's at third base. Alex Young in the 8 spot tonight. He is a junior at shortstop. And then your pitcher tonight for Oskaloosa is the hot-hitting Seth Sarver. He'll be throwing tonight against the Little Dutch, and he is a senior. Quickly, let's go ahead and give you some team statistics that are relevant, at least at this point. Pella, of course, 5-6 on the year, 2-4 in the Little Hawkeye Conference. Batting right around 300 at 298 team batting average, and on-base percentage right around 400 at 399. That's not necessarily been the issue. 77 runs in 11 games. That's a good number. Unfortunately, pitching-wise, it's not been the case for this Pella team, as through the first 11 games, 67 1/3 innings of work, 4.78 the team ERA. Opponents hitting almost 300 against them. They have 55 strikeouts and 31 walks, 13 hits batsmen. So nearly a 1-to-1 ratio when you consider the fact that base on balls and hit by pitches, they result in the same thing, giving a runner a free base to first base. And they only have 55 strikeouts in those 67 1/3 innings. So they're missing that major ace that Grant Judkins was the last couple of years for him. And we'll see what Vanderleest has for him here tonight. His numbers on the season: he is 1-1. He has 2 starts coming in with 3 total appearances on the year. 10 1/3 innings of work, a 5.42 ERA. Opponents hitting 250 against him. He has been the best strikeout guy for the most part on a per inning basis. 17 strikeouts, just 2 walks in 10 1/3 innings, but he's also hit 4 batters as well. So we'll see what Vanderleest has tonight for the Indians. On the other side for Oskaloosa, they are going to bring, coming into this game, batting .344 with a .394 on base percentage, a really solid hitting ball club. Although they have gone through a few games where they've not been able to hit very well, that is still a very impressive team batting average and on base percentage total. Pitching-wise for him, however, it is a 3.42 ERA, which gives them a big edge on Pella in terms of pitching. Opponents batting just .243 against the staff as a whole, but Oskaloosa's issue has been walks. They have struck out 65 and walked 61 and hit 8 batters, so they actually have given more free bases on the base paths than they've gotten strikeouts this season, and 98 1/3 innings of work. They've played 3 more full games than Pella has so far this season. Oskaloosa entering at 9-5 on the year. Defensively, Oskaloosa has a significant advantage as well, a .946 fielding percentage. That's a very good at the high school level for Oskaloosa, and then for Pella, a .917 fielding percentage, which is pretty average, but of course, in any one game, any team can make as many errors as possible. I mean, we've seen some good defensive teams make 5 or 6 errors in a baseball game, and that has really cost them. So although that's what their average is coming in, that doesn't mean anything. You have to go out there and still execute, and Oskaloosa will have a solid defensive unit out there. We'll see if they're able to continue the defensive excellence that we've seen so far this year. The pitcher for Oskaloosa tonight is Seth Sarver, the senior, with 2 starts, 2 relief appearances. He's 2-1 on the year. He has a 2.15 ERA. Opponents hitting just .217 against him. His problem, once again, has been walks. 5 strikeouts, 9 walks, and 3 hits batsmen in 13 innings of work. So if he keeps the walks down, he should be in good shape, as he likes to pitch into contact for the most part, and we'll see what he does, because he's been unbelievable at the plate thus far, hitting well over 400. We'll see if that continues, as he will take on the arch rival, Pella Little Dutch, for the first of 3 regular season meetings between these 2 teams this year. We'll take another break. When we come back, we'll have the beginning of the ballgame, the first pitch, Oskaloosa and Pella in the Little Hawkeye Conference, a single varsity game right here on the No Coast Network.
Layton State Bank understands that everyone's financial needs and goals are different. That's why it's essential for you to bank with a local bank that knows you personally and professionally. Layton State Bank is that bank. They understand your financial situation and work diligently to help you reach your financial goals. They're committed to working with you and for you every step of the way. Layton State Bank, serving you from Layton, Pella, and Monroe. Grow strong with us, member FDIC.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-thru and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call Time Out to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-AULD.
Dreams start early, illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
At Gardner Collier Jewelry, our goal has always been to provide you with the very best jewelry for your money. From plain gold wedding bands to the most exquisite diamond ring, Gardner Collier has it. Our huge selection is sure to exceed your expectations, and our service is second to none. From sterling silver fashion jewelry to the one-of-a-kind diamond fashion piece, Gardner Collier can fill your jewelry desires. For the very best value in fine jewelry, choose Gardner Collier, Quincy Place Mall, Ottumwa, and Penn Central Mall, Oskaloosa.
Getting ready for the first pitch between Oskaloosa and Pella, Little Hawkeye Conference single varsity game. We appreciate you for joining us. Live video stream on RadioKMZN.com. Check us out on the mobile app, the KMZN mobile app, that is. Live audio on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN all over the world, as mentioned on the KMZN app and radio KMZN.com. Melissa Phillips doing a great job back in our No Coast Network studios. We have the whole crew here. Our director tonight is Miranda Keeler, and our camera operators Titus Letzring and Alyssa Carey. You see on our live stream, Coach Clint Gingrich and Coach Jesse Jablonski of Pella out there talking to the umpires for tonight's game, wearing their black uniforms, the black hats, the gray pants. Ron Acuna is the base umpire with Todd Richards behind the plate for this varsity game. So we'll see exactly what Mr. Richards has behind the plate, as each pitcher going to have to make adjustments based on what an umpire behind the plate is going to see as a strike or a ball. Of course, as long as it's the same for both sides, nobody can really complain. Beautiful night for some baseball action. Of course, we got this brand new infield that's been leveled off. The brand new infield, not only the infield brand new, but the mound's new. The home plate area is new. They have the new grass that is in the infield and that covers the baselines going to first and third. And that is there because it's just so much easier to take care of. You don't have to pull weeds that might be growing up there. Don't have to keep maintenance of the dirt in between the baselines. And it makes for a more permanent line down the first and third base line. So it makes it just much easier to take care of because it's a lot of volunteers. A lot of volunteers for these baseball fields that are needed. The lineups are being introduced. Beautiful night, 84 degrees, winds blowing from right to left at about 10 miles per hour. And sunny skies, as you can see on our live stream. Pella wearing some excellent throwback styled uniforms, kind of reminiscent of the Houston Astros in the 70s and 80s. And they got that light green and the forest green with the stripes horizontally across to the front. They got the Pella across the front in the block modern letters, and then they have the gray numbers on the back with the gray pants, the forest green stripe down the side in the single pipe, the green belt, and then the green long socks with the green cap with the P on the front. So the Oskaloosa Indians wearing their home white uniforms, maroon sleeves, maroon Indians across the front, the maroon number on the lower left part of the front of the jersey, and then the maroon number on the back. The white pants, some of the players wearing the stirrup look on the with the socks, the maroon socks with the triple stripe with white. And then, of course, the caps for Oskaloosa, maroon with white. Maroon with white front panel, the maroon O on the front, and the maroon bill. So a fantastic night. You see the fantastic trees, the bright green on the field, the blue skies, the softball field down the hill just outside of a tall fence over left field. Down the hill, they're playing Pella, of course, as well in a single varsity matchup. The softball team looking to kind of rebound from a rocky start, 11-5 this season thus far, going into last night's action. As Travis Guile, an Oskaloosa alum, is doing the PA announcing tonight. And before we do anything else, let's go ahead and take a listen in as we're going to hear our national anthem. our national anthem here live from the Oskaloosa High School baseball field, and we are getting set for the first and only game that we'll have here tonight. The Oskaloosa Indians will be out on the field to start things off, and it'll bring up the Pella order to Avery Van Zee, Tyler Hillman, Jaden Rolfs to lead off to face the right-hander, senior Seth Sarver. Again, a reiteration of his numbers this year. One of the better pitchers Oskaloosa knew that they were going to have coming into this year, and he has performed admirably thus far. 2-1 his record in 4 total appearances, 2 starts, 2 relief appearances, 13 innings of work, a 2.15 ERA, opponents hitting just .217 against him. As mentioned, the one issue is his walk to strikeout ratio. He's only struck out 5 and has walked 9. He's also hit 3 additional batters, so 7 more free bases than strikeouts, but can't argue with that ERA. And with 13 innings of work, it'll be real interesting to see if the Indian right-hander can eat some pitches up. Also, something you should keep in mind, the Oskaloosa ace, as far as I'm concerned, is Ryan Yates so far. Pitched very well. He's 3-0 on the season so far, a .39 ERA. And he got 90 pitches thrown, charged against him against Newton on Monday, which means by the new pitch count rules in the state of Iowa this year, he is available here tonight. So if Sarver were to get through the first 3 or 4 innings, maybe he got through some struggling moments, and Coach Gingrich decides that Ryan Yates can pitch, he's got 90 pitches that he can throw the rest of the week, which is really only today. They don't have any games going on tomorrow. And he is available with the rule that he needed 3 days rest from Monday based on the 90 pitches he threw. He's gotten his 3 days, and he is good to go, and he is on the bench for tonight's ball game and will be ready if necessary. Other pitchers that Oskaloosa could very well go with as this game wears on, if need be, include Bennett Spry and Tucker Nunikoven, who could be available throwing. Most of the other pitchers for Oskaloosa are unavailable due to the pitch count limits. Seth Sarver's first pitch is on the way, and it is going to be called a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 to Avery Van Zee. First pitch, 7:37 in the evening. We appreciate you joining us as Van Zee, 343 average to start this year, as this one hammered down the left field line, and that's going to get over the head and a one-hop the fence. Tyler Miller in left field. Van Zee around first. He's on his way to second, and he'll pull up there with a leadoff stand-up double. For Van Zee, that is double number 3 for him this season. He also has 2 triples and 2 homers, so he has hit the ball well this season. Guy coming up to the plate right now, they're trying to get going, and that is Tyler Hillman, batting .280 on the year, a .526 on base, however. He has walked 10 times already and has driven in 7. Runner out on second base, and still nobody out here top of the first inning. Senior playing shortstop. Looks at the first offering from Sarver, which is in there on outside corner for a strike. 0-1. The defense behind Sarver. In left field is Tyler Miller, Tucker Nunikoven in center, and Cole Kraber in right. We'll get to the infield in just a moment. Out of the stretch, the 0-1. Chopper over to third. Harrington, oh, it's a terrible hop. It goes to Young, though, and he throws to first, and he's not in time. They're going to call him safe at first base. Getting to third on the throw over to first is Hillman. That took a wicked hop on the edge of the grass, went away from Harrington. Good job backing it up by DeYoung, and his throw to first just wasn't in time. Hillman will get credit for an infield single. And moving to third is Van Zee. So Pella got something going here in the top of the first. That brings up Jaden Rolfs, who is .441 the average, a .487 on base. He's got a team-high 12 knocked in, and he's got a good opportunity here with runners on the corners and still nobody out. This one's popped up on the right side. Flaring foul. Can anybody get to it? They cannot. It'll drop harmlessly in foul ground. There's a lot of foul ground here at the Oskaloosa High School baseball diamond, but much too much ground there for Cole Kraber in right field, or Peyton Krause at first base to try to reel it in. Nick Harrington is at the hot corner with Alex DeYoung at short for Oskaloosa, Bennett Spry at second, and Peyton Krause at first, with Ethan Arnold, the senior, behind the plate for the right-handed senior, Seth Sarver. Still out of the stretch, runner stays, and the offering is outside and low, 1-1. For Sarver, we mentioned a solid ERA, although his whip isn't necessarily exactly where you want it to be. He's pitched well so far this year. This one low and away again, and it's 2-1 here to Rolfs. The junior catcher for the Little Dutch. We mentioned probably the best they have at the plate. Decent lead at first by Hillman. And this ball high into shallow left center field. Now Drifting back is Miller. This is deep enough for the runner to tag. The throw is on its way. It'll be cut off. Van Zee will score. It is a sacrifice fly for Jaden Rolfs, and RBI number 13 on the season for him, and Pella takes a 1-0 lead. So Van Zee scores. Heilman stays over at first base, and it's Joel Ryder. Ryder, the senior third baseman, a right-handed bat, comes in batting .324. That's also his on-base percentage, 7 knocked in as he fouls this one out of play off of the batting cages over there down the right field line, 0-1. Oskaloosa's defense, at least on the outfield, squared around to the left a little bit. There's a big gap in right center field. Wind is blowing about 10 miles an hour from the right foul pole to the left foul pole as there's a big swing and a miss. Quick throw behind the runner. It gets through Kraus, and that's going to allow the runner to go to second. Quickly getting it back in to hold the runner there is Kraber, but not before. Hillman gets to second. It'll go E2 on the throw from Arnold that Kraus could not handle. Kraus, one of the best defensive first basemen you'll find, who saves errors for a lot of his infielders. That time just couldn't reel that one in. Wasn't a terrible idea from Arnold, though. Had Hillman strung out pretty far, but he's at second now with an 0-2 count. That pitch just misses low, 1-2. Ryder, only one extra base hit so far this year of the 11 he has, and that was a double. Right-handed batter digs in. It's a 1-2 count against him. Runner on second, out of the stretch of the pitch. That's just off the outside corner, and it's 2-2. Again, your home plate umpire tonight, Todd Richards with Ron Acuna along the bases. Top of the first, Pella leading 1-0 early. The 2-2 on the way. It's a ground ball through the whole left side, a base hit. And Miller knocks it down. We'll get it in quickly. And holding the runner is Coach Jablonski. So now, again, runners on the corners. And just one out. As Ryder on a solid single through the left side of the infield. And that'll bring up the number 5 hitter, Landon Vanderleest. He is the pitcher. So far this season, batting .258, a .351 on base, just 2 knocked in, but an opportunity here with runners on the corners and just 1 out. Pella already leading 1-0, and he wants to help himself out. He's got a runner at third in Hillman and Ryder at first. Way outside. Good job by Arnold reeling that one in. 1-0. If you're wondering, in a situation like this, a lot of times a coach will set up an interesting base running play with the runner at first. Might take second to try to draw a throw and see if that runner from third could go home. As they're just called strike to Vanderleest 1-1. Coach Jablonski has not tipped his hand in that regard yet. Through 11 games, Pella is 20 for 25 in stolen base attempts, so they're not as aggressive as a team like Oskaloosa, who has over 50 stolen base attempts this year. The 1-1, this ball out of play, right side. Quickly 1-2 to the junior. Caleb Piersma is on deck for the little Dutch, barring a double play. He'll get a chance to bat here in the top of the first. Sarver looks in, still on the stretch. Fires, and that ball is hit into right field. Kraber is there, and he'll make the catch. Again, tagging is Hillman. Here's the throw, and it'll get all the way through. It was close. It was a good throw by Kraber, but safe at home is Hillman. Another sacrifice fly. This one a right field, and Vanderleest does help himself out. 2-0 Pella with 2 outs and a runner on first. So that's some good hitting here by Pella here in the first to get Vanderleest, spot him a couple of runs. Vanderleest included in that. And now with the runner on first and 2 outs, it's Caleb Piersma, the senior left fielder. Piersma on the year, batting .281 with a .343 on base. Just 1 knocked in. Sarver, a quick pickoff move over to first base, nothing doing. Again, this Pella team not afraid to steal a base or 2, averaging about 2 stolen base attempts per game. 20 for 25 as a ball club, 1 for 2. As this line drive just fouled by about 2 feet down the right field line by Piersma. 0-1. I mentioned Ryder. On the season, just 1 for 2 in stolen base attempts. Vanderleest, in 10 1/3 innings, has a 5.42 ERA, but he does have good strikeout numbers. If Oskaloosa makes contact, that is proven to be something that has hurt Vanderleest on the year, as that one is fouled off by Piersma, and it's 0-2. Oskaloosa's offense, we mentioned, has been powerful for the most part, but they went through a little bit of a stretch. We went 1-3 over a 4-game stretch from last Friday through Tuesday this week. Bounced back nicely with a couple of 11-run performances against Norwalk on Wednesday. The 0-2 to Piersma is low, 1-2. Again, a big gap out in right center field as the center fielder Nunnekoven shading a few steps toward left center. Infield about normal depth, maybe a step in. Infield in normal depth as well, with Kraus holding the runner on at first. 1-2. That one fouled off of the front of the dugout on the first base line where the Indians are. Still 1-2. 2-0 Pella here, top of the first inning. Quarter till the top of the 8 o'clock hour on a beautiful night for baseball here in Oskaloosa. Sarver sets, out of the stretch, fires. That pitch called, third strike at the top of the zone, and the first strikeout from Sarver ends the inning. But Pella gets 3 hits and plates 2 runs. After a half inning of play, it's Pella 2 and Oskaloosa coming to bat here on the No Coast Network.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and beyond. Whether commercial, residential, or land, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be the area's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye edge.
Oskaloosa down 2-0 before they can pick up a bat as Pella's offense plates 2, giving a lead to Landon Vanderleest, the right-hander who's warming up. Vanderleest, the junior, on the year so far, 1-1 the record, 2 starts, 1 relief appearance. 5.42 the ERA, opponents hitting .250 against him, but his strikeout number impressive, 17 strikeouts in 10 1/3 innings, and he's walked only 2. He has hit 4 batters, but if Oskaloosa can make contact tonight, runs have scored against this guy this year. Pella's pitching staff in general, obviously their numbers were hurt earlier this week in a game against Norwalk on Monday, a single varsity game that saw Norwalk put 20 on the board, 11 of which by my information that I received was Tyler Hillman, who gave up all those runs. Just a bad night to be a pitcher for Pella. It's the first pitch outside to the leadoff batter, Tyler Miller. The freshman takes ball 1. On the season, Miller is the leading hitter for Oskaloosa, getting full time. He's come on nice and strong here in his freshman campaign as that pitch is in there for a strike, 1-1. Miller batting .513 so far this year, .535 the on-base percentage. He does have a couple of doubles and 7 knocked in, and he's 12 for 14 in steals, which really lends himself useful at the top of the order as he lays down a bunt. Fair territory. This is going to be a tough play. Nobody's going to have a throw, and it's going to be an infield hit on the bunt by Tyler Miller, and that's what I was talking about. When your leadoff hitter has the speed that Miller possesses, it makes it real nice. Because not only when he gets on base can he get on base like we just saw, but he can get himself to second base on a steal, maybe even a third. 12 for 14 on the year. Oskaloosa is 48 for 55. The stolen base percentage, not necessarily the best that Oskaloosa has had at a point like this in the season, but they definitely have guys who can run, and that's not a question. With Miller at first and nobody out, Tucker Nunnekoven getting the start in the number 2 hole. Bennett Spry has been in the 2 spot most of the year as Nunnekoven takes ball 1, but Spry in a little bit of a funk recently, trying to get him going. He's batting in the number 6 spot here tonight. Miller, very good speed over at first. Nunnekoven at the plate. Out of the stretch, the pitch, that ball flown foul, out of play, right side. And the count 1-1. Nunnekoven on the season, batting .353, a .421 on-base percentage. Just a couple of RBIs, but he has 3 sacrifice plays this season, whether bunts or sacrifice flies, and he's second on the team with 8 stolen bases in 9 attempts. There goes Miller. It's a hit and run. This is a ground ball over to short. It's going to be Hillman across the diamond and in time by a half step, but the hit and run keeps Oskaloosa out of the double play. Nunnekoven with a productive 6-3 out. Good job making contact there by the junior. And now Miller is in scoring position for Ethan Arnold. Arnold on the season comes in batting .286 with a .345 on base percentage. He was the leading hitter for this team a year ago. He has a home run and 10 knocked in. But you would figure his bat, if anything, is just going to get warmer and warmer. As he hits this one through the hole on the left side, that's a base hit. And Miller will be held at third. The ball cut off by the third baseman, Ryder. And Arnold comes through with a single, and runners on the corners for Oskaloosa here in the bottom of the first as they trail at 2-0, but an opportunity to cut into that lead with cleanup batter Blake Van Veldhuizen striding to the plate. Casey Hill is running for Arnold, the courtesy runner. Hill is just a sophomore, but this is going to be his role most of the season. So he's on at first for Arnold as the courtesy. And Blake Van Veldhuizen, the designated hitter, showing bunt. And he'll pull back, take a ball. Going to second is Hill, and the ball squirts away from the second baseman, Miedema, and Miller will score. And that's why you put runners in motion, folks. That is Gingrich ball at its finest, forcing the defense to try to make plays and making them be perfect. Miller will score on E2, as Miedema just couldn't handle the throw after the hop. Miller cuts the Pella lead in half. It is now 2-1. Hill will get credit for a stolen base. On the season for Hill, he's now 5 for 5 in steals. The second pitch is a bouncer in there to Van Veldhuizen, and it's quickly 2-0 to him. On the season, Van Veldhuizen, .295, the average and the on-base percentage. He does have a home run and 7 driven in, and he's got a runner out there at second base with still just 1 out. 2-0. That's up and in. And the count 3-0. Coach Gingrich is an aggressive coach, but likely we'll see Van Veldhuizen taking all the way here. In fact, I'd be surprised if he wasn't. Coming set out of the stretch, Vanderleest fires and delivers it right down the pipe. Indeed, Van Veldhuizen taking all the way, and it's 3-1. Peyton Krause, the senior, on deck for Oskaloosa. The potential tying run in the early going. Out at second base. Bottom of the first, 2-1, Pella the lead. Hill with great speed on at second base. The pitch from Vanderleest bounces in the dirt. A good block by the catcher, Jaden Rolfs, and Van Veldhuizen reaches on a 5-pitch walk. First walk issued by Vanderleest. We mentioned that's not something he's done too much. Just the third time he's issued a base on balls this year. As Krause comes to the plate, let's take a look at the defense for the Dutch. Caleb Piersma out in left with Avery Van Zee in center. Gabe Thomas is the right fielder. At third base is Joel Ryder with Tyler Hillman at short. Caden Miedema at second. Camden Lambert at first. The catcher is Jaden Rolfs for the right-handed junior, Landon Vanderleest. First pitch is popped up foul and out of play right side from Krause, 0-1. The senior Krause comes in batting at .295 with a .340 on base percentage. 4 runs driven in so far this season, a couple of doubles. And he's got runners on first and second and 1 out. Bottom of the first inning. Vanderleest checks second and fires out of the slide step. And that pitch just a little too far inside, and the count evens at 1. Big gap in right center field for Krause as the center fielder Van Zee a few steps toward left center. Outfield for Pella about 2 or 3 steps deep in left and center. Right fielder Gabe Thomas is about normal depth. Here's the pitch. Showing bunt is Krause, but he fouls it off, and it's 1-2. Infield for Pella up the middle is that double play depth. They'll look to try to get 2. Looks like the third baseman, Joel Ryder, is near the line. And playing behind the runner over at first is Lambert, the first baseman. He's actually going to move in on the edge of the grass. 1-2 the count to Krause, not wearing the batting gloves tonight. And the pitch, that ball, a curveball, it never curved. 2-2 the count. You got the shadow from the press box as the sun sets in the face of everybody on the field. It's kind of encroaching along the third base area as this pitch up and in, and it's 3-2. Also got some shadows on the right side in foul territory that will continue to move across first base. That will affect certain spots on the diamond as the sun continues its descent. Payoff pitch. That pitch misses low, not by far, but Krause reaches second consecutive walk of the inning from Vanderleest, and that will load the bases up for Bennett Spry. We mentioned this is the one guy that Coach Gingrich is wanting to get going here. It's been cold the last week or so. And Spry batting in the 6th spot out instead of his normal number 2 slot. He comes in with a batting average of 320, a 370 on base, 14 runs driven in, which is second on the team, and the first pitch to him on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1 to the lefty. Spry has been kind of streaky his whole career, but when he's going right, there's not much that can get the man out. He's a very quick runner as well, and he's got the corners of the infield in. Second pitch is inside, maybe a little low, and it's 1-1. Middle of the infield still playing at double play depth. They would love to get 2 here, which would get them out of the frame. Anything to the corners is going to come home for the force out. The 1-1 on the way. And that ball hit high in the air into right field. Backing up is Gabe Thomas. He settles under it, backs up even more, makes the catch. Tagging from third and coming home to score is Casey Hill, and that'll tie the game at 2 with 2 outs as Spry gets the job done with a sacrifice fly. So 2 away, and that'll bring up Nick Harrington with still 2 runners on at first and second for the Indians. Both teams scratching across runs, using that sacrifice fly to their advantage. Harrington, the junior third baseman, comes in batting at 349, a 420 on base with 5 runs driven in. He's got Kraus at first and Van Veldhuizen the runner at second. As this is popped up and foul ground, this will be out of play over the third base side dugout where Pella currently is occupying. Fantastic night for baseball. It's going to be real hot over the weekend and to start next week, so might as well enjoy it while we can before Mother Nature decides to blaze us here in South Central Iowa. The 0-1 on the way. Check swing by Harrington takes it inside, and it's 1-1. On deck, Alex DeYoung should the inning be continued from Harrington here. Couple hits, a couple walks. 2 runs across so far for Oskaloosa, and the game tied as this one a little chopper over to third, but it will squirt foul just right at the last moment. That would have been a tough play by Ryder over at third, not to field the ball, but to find a base where he could have gotten out. Instead, it's just a strike, and Harrington will come back with a 1-2 count against him. 2 outs, runners on first and second, and a 2-2 game here in the bottom of the first inning. Shadow completely covering up third base and Ryder over there at the hot corner now, as this one bounces in there, and it evens out at 2-2. The reason I mention the shadows, they can mess with the way you see the ball, whether it's coming from the pitcher's mound to home plate or on a ground ball in your direction when the ball comes from the shadow into the light or out of the shadow into the light. The 2-2 rather is hit high in the air into left center field. Left fielder Piersma calling off the center fielder Van Zee, but eventually Van Zee wards him off and makes the catch deep in the gap to retire the side. Oskaloosa answers with a pair of their own. RBI coming from Bennett Spry in the inning. We'll head to the second, tied at 2 here on the No Coast Network.
Experience the Bruxforts difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
Layton State Bank understands that everyone's financial needs and goals are different. That's why it's essential for you to bank with a local bank that knows you personally and professionally. Layton State Bank is that bank. They understand your financial situation and work diligently to help you reach your financial goals. They're committed to working with you and for you every step of the way. Layton State Bank, serving you from Layton, Pella, and Monroe. Grow strong with us, member FDIC.
First inning, an eventful one. Both teams played a pair of runs. We'll head to the second with a 2-2 tie as we head into the top of the 8 o'clock hour. We appreciate you for joining us, whether you're listening to us live or you're checking us out with our live video stream on our website, radiokmzn.com. We appreciate it. Do a formal station ID after the first couple of pitches of the inning, as it's the lower third of the Dutch order to face Seth Sarver, the right-handed senior for Oskaloosa. Now the game tied. First pitch on the way is a foul ball to Gabe Thomas, the sophomore in right field for the Dutch. Thomas batting .321 on the year, a .472 on base, however. He does have 9 driven in here in the lower portion of the order for coach Jesse Jablonski. The 0-1 on the way. That's just high over the letters. Pella wearing those excellent uniforms with the multiple greens, reminiscent of the late 70s and early 80s. The Houston Astros look that they like to wear. That pitch in the dirt, and it's 2-1. We appreciate you for joining us. You're hearing our live audio on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN all over the world on radiokmzn.com with a live video stream, also on our KMZN mobile app. It is now a 3-1 count to Gabe Thomas leading off the top of the second. Pella and Oskaloosa tied at 2 in a battle in the Little Hawkeye Conference. As the 3-1 catches the outside corner, it's full 3-2. My name's Emery Songer. Thanks for joining us. Video crew tonight, Director Miranda Keeler, camera operators Titus Letzring and Alyssa Carey with Alyssa Phillips back in the No Coast Network studios. So that pitch well outside, and Thomas takes the walk, the first issued by Sarver in the game. We mentioned that was kind of the one bugaboo for him this season so far is the amount of walks he's issued. Just under 1 walk per inning, which isn't super awful, but it's just the fact that he only has 5 strikeouts as well. So when they're making contact, they're not finding holes, though. That is a plus for Oskaloosa as the first pitch is strike to Camden Lambert, a freshman getting the start at first base for Pella in this single varsity game. Right-handed batter. Lambert just 0 for 1 at the plate this year as he pops out to the second baseman, Bennett Spry, for the first out of the inning. So Lambert, kind of a surprise starter. He's only played in 3 games this season coming in of the 11 that Pella has played, and he's just 0 for 1 at the plate. He's now 0 for 2 after the pop out, and with 1 out and a runner on first, it is the number 9 hitter, Caden Miedema. Miedema is the junior, and he too has not gotten a lot of action this season. First pitch a strike, 0-1. Miedema, just 2 games he's played, 1 start before tonight, and he was just 1 for 3 at the plate with a couple runs scored and an RBI so far this year. Runner goes, that pitch in there for a strike. The throw down to second. Nice throw by Arnold. The tag applied by Spry, and they catch Thomas stealing. It goes 2-4 in your scorebook, and another fantastic throw by Oskaloosa catcher Ethan Arnold. That is the 6th time a runner's been caught stealing by an Oskaloosa catcher. Compared to just 16 stolen bases, that's a great percentage for Oskaloosa. And 2 away and the base is empty. And this 0-1 pitch popped out into right center field. Who's going to call it? Kraber. And then coming in front of his face and making the catch is Nunnikow. And the center fielder once again taking charge. And turns out to be a quick inning for Seth Sarver. A good throw by Arnold helping him out. As we'll head to the bottom of the second. Through 1.5, tied at 2. Pella and Oskaloosa on the No Coast Network.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-thru and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call timeout to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-ALD.
Oskaloosa with their bats in their hands. They'll come up with the 8-9-1 hitters to face Landon Vanderleest, the Pella right-hander. And after an inning and a half, 2-2 is our score. Just past the top of the 8 o'clock hour, and another amazing night for summer sports. As mentioned, if you haven't checked the forecast for the next few days, it's going to be hot. It's going to be real hot. And there's going to be a lot of softball and baseball being played in that hot weather, so it's going to be ideal not only for the players but the spectators as well to be prepared to rehydrate themselves with regularity, because it is going to be sauna-like weather for the next 3, 4, 5 days. It's the first pitch of ball to Alex DeYoung, who's batting in the 8th spot tonight. The junior shortstop. He comes in batting at .347 with a .385 on-base percentage, 10 knocked in. That pitch just inside as DeYoung backing the legs out of the way, and it's quickly 2-0. Just one varsity game between these teams tonight, but they do play a doubleheader later this season as that catches the inside corner, 2-1. They'll play a doubleheader at Pella on Monday, June 26th. So just in 2.5 weeks or so. It's the 2-1 a high chopper over the head of the third baseman Ryder out in the left field, and it'll be a leadoff single for DeYoung here to get things going in the second. This grass is acting kind of springy tonight. And that third baseman Ryder, he was on the edge of the grass, and all it took is just a strong hop off of the grass just in front of home plate and then popped right over his head. He had no chance to make a play. He's still going to play that close. Runner at first. Quick pickoff throw, and it goes away all the way down the right field line. DeYoung on his way to second. He makes a wide turn, and he's on his way to third. They're going to quickly get the ball over to third, but DeYoung will slide in ahead of the tag, and that is going to be a two-base throwing error by the pitcher, Vanderleest, allowing the runner to go to third. Still just nobody out with DeYoung at third base, and now Sarver, the batter, the left-hander, going to come up, and he's swung a hot stick this season. .429 the batting average with 500 on base. He does have 2 home runs to lead the team and 19 RBIs to lead the team out of this 9 slot. Infield is in for Pella. It's interesting. They're going to cut down the run at home on a contact player, try to hold the runner off the board as the first pitch misses for a ball 1-0. Those are incredible numbers for a guy in Sarver who pretty much his offense is a bonus. He kills this ball down the right field line, but that one is foul. A little bit off of the inner part of the bat, turned on it just a little too quickly. Just a loud strike. Other action in this conference, going to shake up some things. We'll get to that in a second as this pitch outside. 2-1. Grinnell and Indianola, 2 of the top teams in the conference record-wise so far. They're battling each other in Indianola tonight. It's the 2-1 on the way from Vanderleest. That's just off the edge of the bat. Foul ball, 2-2 the count to Sarver with Alex DeYoung at third and nobody out. Bottom of the second, 2-2 our score. Pella Christian and Dallas Center Grimes are right in the middle of the conference, tied at 3-3 in conference play. They play a single varsity game at Dallas Center tonight. So there's another foul tip off the end of the bat. Staying alive is Sarver, still 2-2. The other conference game is Newton at Norwalk tonight. 2 teams in the bottom portion of the conference thus far. Here's the windup, and Vanderleest delivers another 2-2, and that ball, another quick turn on it on a line drive by Sarver. Shadows kind of splotching all over the infield now, a little bit in the outfield as well. The press box shadow is almost reaching out to Piersma in left field. 2-2 inside, a good snag by Rolfs behind the plate, and the count goes full to Sarver, having another great at bat here. The 8th pitch of the sequence kept coming. Quickly, here's the windup and the payoff. Check swing, and he did not go, and he is going to walk down to first base. Some of the Pella players wanting to see an appeal, but they're a late appeal. Base umpire Ron Acuna says he did not go, and that is a third walk issued by Vanderleest and an excellent at-bat by Sarver. Sarver, a great base runner. Likely we'll see him run for himself here, but you never know. Sometimes the coach will elect, even with a good base runner who's a catcher or a pitcher, to courtesy them. That's not going to be the case here, as Sarver a good lead at first. He's off to second, pulling back and taking a strike. Runner coming home, trying to steal home, and he will. Double steal, and that is Gingrich ball at its finest. DeYoung steals home. Sarver gets credit for a steal at second. Miller was going to pull that bunt back all the way. It was a called strike, 0-1, with Sarver, the runner, now at second base. Looks like we're going to get a courtesy runner now after the double steal. That's just great execution of the double steal. Tanner DeCock is going to be your courtesy runner at second for Sarver. So DeCock at second after Sarver gets credit for the stolen base. DeYoung steals home on the double steal. As soon as the throw went down to second, DeYoung left. Excellent base running by the Indians. And that's not the first time we've seen an Indian steal home. First pitch, showing bunt, pulling back, taking a ball this time. A 1-1 the count to Tyler Miller, who had a bunt hit first time through. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out and a runner on at second. 3-2 Oskaloosa the lead after the steal of home. Corners come in, and another great bunt laid down by Miller. Who's going to make this play? It's going to be Rolfs. His throw to first is not going to be in time. Another bunt hit by Tyler Miller. He knows what he's doing with those little bunts. Going to third is Tanner DeCock. And now the number 2 hitter, Tucker Nunnekoven, will bat with, again, runners on the corners and nobody out. Nunnekoven grounded to short, which was a productive out. Moved the runner to second as part of a hit and run back in the first. Great speed on at first. Maybe your fastest player at first. If he's your fastest, your second fastest is at home plate. And good speed with Tanner DeCock still at third. We'll see if there is another similar play that Coach Gingrich draws up here. Short lead at third, but a solid lead at first by Miller. Vanderleest, first pitch, Miller goes. That one in the dirt, and just swallowing it this time is going to be Rolfs. Credit Miller another stolen base. On the season, he is now 13 for 14, or 13 for 15, rather. First pitch, a ball to Nunnekoven. That was a good job by Rolfs, just stopping that ball. Didn't want to allow the runner to score via passed ball or a wild pitch. So now you got ducks in the pond. Nobody out. And the runner, Miller at second. The runner at third, Tanner DeCock for Nunnekoven. 1-0 on the way. He shows bunt, pulls back, and takes the ball high. 2-0 the count. Infield in all the way around. They are not going to allow the run to score without a throw home. Of course, when you bring the infield in, you don't have a lot of angles on ground balls in between the infielders. Vanderleest comes set. And a 2-0 count to Nunnekoven. Slide step, it's on the way. Pop up. And that is going to be foul and over everything. 2-1. Arnold and the big bats coming up for Oskaloosa here. There's still nobody out, so Pella realizes that this is a critical moment of the game, even if it is just the bottom of the second. Oski with a 3-2 lead. Nunnekoven digs back in. Right-handed batter facing the right-handed pitching, Landon Vanderleest. Both juniors. Infield still in. Outfield at normal depth. The 2-1. That ball off the fist and fouled straight back. And it's 2-2. Again, Nunnekoven much more of a number 6 hitter throughout his last couple of years, but bumped up to the number 2 spot while they try to get Bennett Spry going at the plate. 2-2 the count. Slide step, pitch. And that's another foul ball off the facing of the third base side dugout, where the Dutch are occupying. Coach Gingrich manufactures a run with a steal of home, a part of a double steal. But he's got 2 more runners in scoring position with still nobody out for his number 2 hitter. We'll see what happens here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Vanderleest comes set. Check second momentarily. Nobody covering, obviously. This ball popped up. This one is going to be playable on the infield. First baseman Lambert under it makes the catch, and that's a big first out for the Dutch. And no runners can advance. That's just out number 1, though. And your heavy bats are coming up with Ethan Arnold. Right-handed batter is 1 for 1, singled through the left side. Casey Hill stole a bag and scored a run for him back in the first. Infield still in. Still going to make a play at home, try to cut down another run. First pitch to Arnold is fouled straight back, and it is 0-1. More shadows covering up portions of the field here. The only player that's completely in the shadows is the third baseman, Ryder. Sun shining brightly in everybody else's eyes. As they shield them, Vanderleest delivers a pitch that just misses outside, maybe a little bit low, and the count even at 1. Arnold, a seasoned hitter. He has been a part of this varsity team since his freshman year as a player that saw regular time. 1-1 on the way. Big swing at the high pitch. Comes up empty, and it's 1-2. If Vanderleest can work out of this with just the 1 run across, that would be a huge pick-me-up for this Pella team. He still has 2 outs left to get. Middle of the infield now, backs up a couple of steps. The corner's still in on the grass. The 1-2. This ball a ground ball. This is going to be a third baseman, Ryder. Looks the runner back at third, and now he's going to chase him back. Throw wide of the bag, and DeCock, he's going to try to score. Coach Gingrich, I don't think, sent him, and they're going to throw it home, and they're going to have him. So it turns out to be a wild play, but DeCock, I don't think, realized that the ball didn't squirt far enough away for him to try to advance. Good heads-up play by Ryder and company. Ryder fields the ground ball, throws to third base as Hill will run it first. After his throw to the shortstop, Tyler Hillman squirts away, I believe it was still Ryder who picked it up and then threw it home. So it just goes 5-2 in your book. At least that's what I'm going to have it as. on the fielder's choice, and runners on first and second, and still now 2 outs in the inning for the cleanup hitter Blake Van Veldhuizen to cues a foul ball over to Kraus in the on-deck circle. 0-1 the count. 3-2, Oskaloosa has scored a run. Part of a double steal. Alex DeYoung stole home. Interesting inning to say the least. Vanderleest, with runners on first and second, still needs 1 out to get out of the frame. This one fouled straight back and hits the top of the press box. And it's 0-2. Quarter after the top of the 8 o'clock hour. Thanks so much for joining us on another fantastic night for some Little Hawkeye baseball. Oskaloosa hosting Pella, and they lead it 3-2 to bottom of the second inning with 2 outs and a 0-2 count to Van Veldhuizen. This pitch, a line drive over the left side, and that's going to be in there. Miller rounds third. Here comes the throw home. It's not going to be in time, and Miller scores on the 2-out RBI hit. Blake Van Veldhuizen makes it 4-2 Indians. That one over the shortstop's head. Tyler Hillman had no chance to make a play, and that is a clutch hit to allow Oskaloosa a little breathing room here as Kraus now comes up. Hill held up at second base. Kraus, no official at bat, drew a walk first time up in the first. Van Veldhuizen at first, Hill at second, running for Arnold. 4-2 Oskaloosa lead, and the first pitch is low, 1-0. Oskaloosa's bats finding ways to score some runs here. As they were down 2-0 early, but lead at 4-2 now. Still looking for some more. Kraus without the batting gloves tonight. Right-handed hitter. Vanderleest still slide stepping. This is going to be a little chopper left side. A seeing eye single into left field. Hill is going to round third. The throw from left field is a bullet and a bang-bang play, but he's safe. Van Veldhuizen held up at second. Kraus an RBI single and some 2-out damage being done by the Indians. Squirted right through Ryder and Hillman on the left side. That was a great throw from Piersma in left field. Throwing a seed, but Hill with just too much speed, able to score. Oskaloosa now leads at 5-2. And now Bennett Spry is going to have an RBI opportunity. Not quite the speed out there that last couple of batters have had at their disposal. But with Van Veldhuizen at second and Kraus at first, Spry, the lefty, will bat to try to keep the inning alive. Shows bunt, lays a perfect bunt down. Third baseman's got it, over to first, still in time. Good job by Ryder reading it and getting the out to retire the side. Oskaloosa does find a way to plate 3 in the inning, though. RBIs by Van Veldhuizen and Kraus, and a steal of home by DeYoung. We'll head to the third with the Indians leading Pella 5-2 on the No Coast Network.
Dreams start early. Illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
Oskaloosa plates 3 in the bottom of the second, and they have a lead, 5-2, as Pella will come up to face Seth Sarver here as the shadows continue to grow along both the left and right sides of the ball diamond here. As the sun sets, the lights have come on. As Sarver's first delivery is a called strike on the outside corner to the leadoff batter Avery Van Zee, who led off the ball game with a double in the first. He eventually scored a run to get Pella off to a good start. They trail it, though, now 5-2. Sarver working in the top of the third, comes with the breaking ball. It doesn't quite make it back to the strike zone, and it's 1-1 the count. Vanderleest has needed 57 pitches already to get through the first 2 innings of work, as this ball is fouled down the left field line. So with that being said, it's the end of the week. A lot of players, you can only throw a maximum of 180 pitches for sophomores, juniors, and seniors, 150 pitches for 8th graders and freshmen. And with several players unavailable due to the rest that they need based on pitch count, there is a player warming up down the left field line in the Pella bullpen. Their gray numbers don't lend me to be able to figure out who that is yet, but we'll keep an eye on it and let you know if there is a change made. As ball 2 delivered to Van Zee. 2-2 the count. The Oskaloosa outfielders all are swung well around to the left side, playing him to pull. And Bennett Spry is actually on the shortstop side of second base. It doesn't matter because it's a called third strike. Van Zee goes down. Second strikeout recorded by Sarver in the first out of this third inning. Working with a 3-run lead. First pitch, grounded foul. Tyler Hillman, 0-1. 0-1 the count with 1 out and the base is empty. Hillman is a 1-for-1. He hit a ball that was a little chopper down the third base line, took a wicked hop as this pitch just misses outside. The wicked hop ended up going around Harrington at third. The shortstop, DeYoung, was there to make the play, but by the time he made the throw to first base, there was no chance to get the speedy Hillman. That pitch over the head of Hillman slipped out of the hand of Sarver. It's 2-1. Still a few players kind of battling the sun as it continues to set, but more and more shadows are covering up players on the diamond. 2-1. That's just off the outside corner. It's 3-1. Sarver quickly gets the ball back and winds and fires. That ball hit high in the air into deep left center field. Going back, still going back, running out of space, and that ball is off the top of the fence in left field. Nunnekoven quickly gets it back in to hold Van Zee to a double, but that just missed being a home run. He's already hit 2 home runs this season, but that was an unbelievable save by the high fence out there in left field. That nearly was headed down the hill to the softball diamond. It's my mistake. That was Hillman who hit that. And for Hillman, he has the 2 home runs already this season, and that is his 3rd double. My mistake. So runner on second, 1 out. And an 0-1 count here quickly to Jaden Rolfs. Dangerous batter, had a sacrifice fly, RBI back in the first. No official at-bat so far in the game. Again, the outfield for Oskaloosa well around to the left as that ball hit basically to straightaway center field, but because of the way they were playing, Nunnekoven has a long ways to go. That's basically the gap, and that's going to be a single and an RBI as Hillman scores all the way from second base. And Rolfs will get credit for the RBI single. So right as I mentioned, it was probably going to be an easy line out to center field if the outfielders are playing normal. But that center field is basically the right center field gap with the way that they were pulled all the way around to the left. Pella gets one back here top of the third. It's 5-3. And that'll bring up Joel Ryder, who's singled into left field. First time up in the first. Quick throw behind the runner. Not in time from Arnold as the first pitch misses 1-0. Ryder playing at third base, a senior. Another opportunity for an RBI, potentially. He might need extra bases, but he's got good speed with Rolfs over at first. First pitch was a ball. Second pitch also a ball as this one outside and low. Oskaloosa having played a 2 in the first and 3 in the second, looking to try to hold on to a lead with Sarver working out of the stretch here. Slide steps. And that one right on the outside corner hits the black of the plate, and it's 2-1. Kraus holding the runner on at first. Rolfs just now taking his lead. It's a normal lead. Nothing super aggressive. It's going to be a hard ground ball. It's going to get past Harrington down the left field line. Good job getting to it down the line by the left fielder Miller, and he'll get it back in quickly, so another single by Ryder. First and second with still just 1 out. 3 consecutive hits here for the Dutch. And Coach Clint Gingrich is going to come out of the dugout and at least talk with his infield and battery. While he does that, I'd like to remind you, the next broadcast, Oskaloosa Summer Sports, is going to be coming up next Monday. The Oskaloosa softball team has their first meeting with a very good Class 5A team that has just joined the Little Hawkeye Conference this year. It is Indianola here in Oskaloosa in a doubleheader. Should be fantastic action, so be sure to join us. First pitch scheduled for 6 p.m. You can hear the pregame show starting around 5:45 on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN all over the world on radio, KMZN.com, and the KMZN mobile app. Gingrich will head back to the dugout, and he's going to leave his senior in there for the time being. Runners on first and second, and the batter is the opposing pitcher, Landon Vanderleest. Vanderleest will take a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Vanderleest, no official at bat. Sacrifice fly into right field, first time up in the first with an RBI. Here's the 0-1. This one, a line drive, and that's going to be knocked down by Harrington, and he's got a play over to third. What an excellent play by Harrington as the runner at second froze as if he had caught it. That was Rolfs. He had nowhere to go. He's going to be 5 unassisted. What an outstanding effort by Harrington, able to knock that ball down, diving full on horizontal to his left. Keep an eye on that one. Ryder moves on to second, fielder's choice. Vanderleest on at first. 2 outs now, and Sarver 1 out away from working through the inning. This one, a line drive out in right field. That's going to be a base hit. Kraber charging in, looking for a throw to the plate. It's going to be almost on time, just a little bit late. Ball was hit too softly. The throw home allows the runner, Vanderleest, to head to third. Staying at first base was Piersma, who on the first pitch, an RBI single. And now it's 5-4. Pella battling back, and they still have a runner on at third and 2 outs this inning. Good aggressive coaching by Coach Jablonski down in the third base coach's box. He's got a runner now on first and third. 2 outs, and the first pitch a called strike to the number 7 hitter, Gabe Thomas. The sophomore, no official at bat, drew a walk in the second, but as official it was eventually caught stealing that inning on a great throw by Ethan Arnold from behind the plate. 0-1, popped up and out of play behind everything. And it's 0-2. Pella, some good situational hitting here. Both teams getting their fair share of 2 RBI hits. The aggressive base running on both ways as well, but a huge play was made by Nick Harrington at third base to save a run on that hit and maybe multiple runs later on in the inning. So keep a star on that if Oskaloosa can get out of this still holding the lead. They lead at 5-4. 1-2 now the count to Thomas, with runners on first and third and 2 outs, top of the third inning. A lot of runs scoring for these two teams so far in the early part of this game. That pitch sinks low and away. 2-2 the count to the sophomore, one of 2 underclassmen in the order, the other one behind him. Camden Lambert, the freshman first baseman, batting 8th tonight. The 2-2 on the way. That's off the outside corner, and it's full, 3-2. Sarver working around the 50 pitch mark, maybe a little over at this point. We tally the pitches between innings. There's a payoff on the way. Runner was going, and strike 3 called, and that'll end the inning anyways. Third strike out of the game for Sarver, and Oskaloosa indeed able to strand a couple and maintain their lead, but Pella plates a pair. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Oskaloosa leading the Dutch 5-4 on the No Coast Network.
At Gardner Collier Jewelry, our goal has always been to provide you with the very best jewelry for your money. From plain gold wedding bands to the most exquisite diamond ring, Gardner Collier has it. Our huge selection is sure to exceed your expectations, and our service is second to none. From sterling silver fashion jewelry to the one-of-a-kind diamond fashion piece, Gardner Collier can fill your jewelry desires. For the very best value in fine jewelry, choose Gardner Collier, Quincy Place Mall, Ottumwa, and Penn Central Mall, Oskaloosa.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
Oskaloosa with a 5-4 lead, able to escape what was a dangerous situation. Although Pella scores 2, they still have the lead 5-4, and they will bring up the lower third of the order, 7, 8, 9, Harrington, DeYoung, and Sarver to face Landon Vanderleest out for his third inning of work. Ryan Yates, we mentioned him staying at 90 pitches and not throwing a single pitch more on Monday against Newton. is a huge development on Monday. I mentioned it at the time because it made him available for this game. He's warming up as Nick Harrington fouls the first pitch he sees off here in the third, 0-1. Harrington 0 for 1, flew out to center field. Left center field, Avery Van Zee came on and made the play. The fielders moving about 3 steps each to the left side. As it's a hard ground ball, fair ball down the left field line. That's going to be a base hit. Piersma gets it back in quickly, and a leadoff single for Harrington. Lots of hits for both of these teams. That's the 7th Oskaloosa hit. There's been 7 Pella hits so far as well. Bottom of the 8 o'clock hour, we've got a run-scoring affair here. 5-4 Oski leads it, and their leadoff batter is on at first base with Harrington. Lambert holding the runner on at first, and Vanderleest about to pitch to DeYoung, who shows bunt, pulls back, and before the pitch is thrown, Vanderleest throws to first base. Nothing doing. Joel Ryder is the third baseman, and he's about 5 feet in on the grass and ready to charge if DeYoung lays down a bunt here. Another quick pickoff move. This one a little bit more wide. A good job by Lambert to keep it there. DeYoung singled into left field and eventually stole home. He advanced to third on a pickoff throw that went down the right field line. Went from first to third on that and then stole home on a part of a double steal after Seth Sarver was walked. This ball is hit hard into left field. Backing up is Piersma, and he makes the catch, quickly gets it back in. And little Uncle Charlie that Alex DeYoung was trying to pull, got good contact, just hit it right at the left fielder Piersma for the first out of the inning, and Harrington stays at first base. 1 out. That'll bring up Sarver. No official at bat for him. An 8-pitch sequence, but he eventually walked, and he was a part of that double steal that DeYoung would score on the steal of home. By the way, Sarver's steal as part of that was his 7th stolen base in 8 attempts this season. Low and away on the first pitch to him here from Vanderleest, 1-0. Vanderleest at 61 pitches now in the ball game. This being the end of the week. Pella again doesn't play until Monday, so Vanderleest probably gets the green light to go until Coach Jablonski decides to pull him or he hits that 110 pitch mark, which ends anyone's night, as there's a big swing and a miss by Sarver, 1-1. Of course, 110's not the concrete number. You can finish the at-bat that you reach that number on. But as soon as that at-bat's over, your night is done. 1-1 the count. Out of the slide step, the pitch. A called strike at the knees to Sarver, and it's 1-2. 1 out, runner on first is Harrington. Good speed. Ryan Yates continues to work in the Oskaloosa bullpen down the right field line. 1-2 the count. To the left-handed batting, Seth Sarver. The pitch. That ball hammered down the right field line. That's over the head of the right fielder, Thomas, and it's going to get all the way to the fence. Harrington on his horse around third. He is going to be held there, and it's going to be a double for Seth Sarver, and the hits just keep on coming for the young man. That is his 7th double of the season. I have to remind you, this guy had 4 extra base hits all of last year, and now he has 7 doubles, a couple of homers. And he's on at second with Harrington at third. We'll see if we have a courtesy runner again coming in for Sarver, but before we get any of that, looks like a visit to the mound for the coaching staff for Pella. The infield and the battery will meet on the mound as well. Looks as though Sarver is going to stay at second for the time being, and now he will not. Tanner DeCock will come back and run for him. So to reset, DeCock running for Sarver at second. Nick Harrington is the runner at third, and it's the top of the Oskaloosa order, and Tyler Miller due up here to face Vanderleest, if it is Vanderleest. That's crazy. 7 doubles already on the year for Seth Sarver. Infield comes in once again, and Vanderleest will be in the game for the time being. Miller, the batter, he's 2 for 2, 2 bunt hits. And with first base open, makes it all the more intriguing a play because the runners don't have to run on a bunt. First pitch, he doesn't show bunt, but he takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. This is his 3rd at-bat in 3 innings. He's also scored a couple of runs. 1 out, Ducks on the pond for Oskaloosa, leading at 5-4, bottom of the 3rd inning. The windup in the pitch from Vanderleest is fouled straight back off the screen, and it's quickly 0-2. Vanderleest needed to get ahead, and he has. Nunakoven is the on-deck hitter for Oskaloosa. Likely will get a chance to bat outside of a crazy double play we'll see here. Oskaloosa looking to answer back the 2 runs that Pella scored in the top of this inning. Fouled straight back out of play once again from Miller. The man has made good contact this season. He struck out just 3 times in 39 at-bats coming in. And he's batting well over 500 on the season, which is pretty unbelievable for a guy who didn't get regular at-bats at all last year as an 8th grader. He was more of a defensive plugger in the outfield and also a courtesy runner extraordinaire. 0-2, this ball, a line drive into right field. That's going to fall for a base hit. 1 run is in. Being held at third is DeCock, and a smart move there by Coach Gingrich is another good throw from the outfield as Thomas brought it home. Staying at first is Miller, but he'll get credit for the RBI single. This one of the conventionals type, and he is there. Harrington scores. Over to third is DeCock, and Oskaloosa leads it 6-4 now with Nunikoven now at the plate. Nunikoven 0 for 2, a productive ground out to move a runner along in the first, and then he popped out to the right side of the first baseman, Camden Lambert, in the second. We'll see what kind of base running Coach decides to do as this bunt is popped up, and it'll drop foul. A little bit, Joel Ryder over there at third base is covering. The runner, Miller, was running to second, so he was covering third in case they wanted to throw behind the runner DeCock there. Nunikoven is, if he's not faster than Miller, he is the 2nd fastest player on this team. But the only reason that Ryder did not catch that and make that an out was because he kind of got caught up behind the runner at third, Tanner DeCock. And by the time he got around him, the ball harmlessly landed in foul ground. 0-1 the count to Nunikoven. We'll see if that play is still on, as we'll see Miller and see if he goes once again. Long set from Vanderleest, and he looks back at first, and the pickoff throw knocked down nicely. On the way home now is DeCock, and again he's going to be erased at the plate. And Coach Gingrich, not happy, drops the notebook there as Tanner DeCock, for the 2nd time in the game, trying to, on a ball that just squirts a little bit away from an infielder, tries to come home. It goes 1-3-2 on the 2nd out of the inning, and that's a big out for Vanderleest and Pella. The 2nd time DeCock has been erased at home plate. 0-1 still the count to Nunikoven here. Miller stays. That one up high, 1-1. It still allows Miller to maybe steal and move into scoring position, but it takes away the opportunity maybe to have an interesting base running play where you might threaten to steal home. 1-1 in Nunikoven. Runner goes. Big swing and a miss on a high strike. Throw down to second base. And is there, but the tag not applied in time by Miedema. 1-2 the count to Nunikoven, and Miller gets credit for another stolen base. 2nd of the night, and he is now 14 for 16 in steals on the year. Just a freshman. He is going to be among the career base stealing leaders at this rate in Oskaloosa history. Nunikoven with a 1-2 count. Vanderleest delivers this little cue shot to the right side. It's going to be the second baseman, Miedema, making the play over to first by a step and a half, and that'll retire the side. Oski does score one more, and they will lead it going into the top of the 4th, 6-4 over Pella here on the No Coast Network.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and beyond. Whether commercial, residential, or land, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be the area's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
Experience the Bruxfort's difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
Top of the 4th, 6-4, Oskaloosa the lead as the Indians doing their warm-ups. If you just joining us, Seth Sarver, the starter for Oskaloosa, has got himself through 3 innings, and he's looking to get himself through a 4th. Six to 4 the lead, and the 8, 9, and 1 batters due up for Pella in the inning. 20 minutes till the top of the 9 o'clock hour. Nothing but shade now over the ball field. As the first pitch is low, 1-0 to number 8 hitter Camden Lambert. We mentioned he hasn't gotten much action at all this year. That's just his third at-bat right now taking place of the season. And it's 2-0 to him here. First at-bat tonight, he popped out to Bennett Spry at second base. Working quickly, that pitch misses, and it's 3-0. 60 pitches in the game so far for Sarver. We saw Ryan Yates warming up down in the bullpen down the right field line for Oskaloosa. As that pitch misses, and a 4-pitch walk to a guy that has only 4 at-bats on the season, or 3 at-bats on the season now. Not what Sarver had in mind. He's typically a strike thrower. And now Coach Gingrich is going to come out and talk with Sarver and take the ball. Second walk will be the last batter that Sarver sees, and Ryan Yates will enter the ball game while he warms up and the defensive switch is made. We'll let you know what happens when we return after a short break here on the No Coast Network.
Layton State Bank understands that everyone's financial needs and goals are different. That's why it's essential for you to bank with a local bank that knows you personally and professionally. Layton State Bank is that bank. They understand your financial situation and work diligently to help you reach your financial goals. They're committed to working with you and for you every step of the way. Layton State Bank, serving you from Layton, Pella, and Monroe. Grow strong with us, member FDIC.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-thru and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
Ryan Yates continues to his warm-up tosses to get things going. It looks like Seth Sarver is going to be back into the outfield, and we'll let you know exactly where everybody is. Final numbers on him, 3+ innings of work, 7 hits, 4 runs so far charged to him, but he's still responsible for the runner at first. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 60 pitches thrown, 36 strikes, and 24 balls. Why now, you might ask? Well, 65 pitches is the limit for 2 days rest, which lends Sarver available now to pitch for Oskaloosa come Monday if need be. Mentioned Indianola, the opponent, and Oskaloosa is going to want to try to grab some wins against a team that currently leads this little Hawkeye Conference coming into tonight's action. Looks like Coach Gingrich trying to explain the defensive changes, as I can go ahead and explain them for you. Tucker Nunnikoven has moved from center to left. Seth Sarver from the mound to center field. So Sarver's in center. And then Cole Kraber, who was being hit for as the designated hitter, Blake Van Valheisen's spot in the order. He comes back into the dugout, and Tyler Miller goes from left to right. So I think that's all we were trying to straighten out as Caden Miedema comes to the plate with the runner on first and Lambert. Nobody out here in the 4th. Fantastic night for baseball as the sun is no longer a factor, I should say, as a quick throw behind the runner. Almost had him at first base. Good throw by Arnold. Kraus couldn't quite get the tag in there in time, and it's 0-1. Miedema flew out to center field. It wasn't really center, it was right center. Kraber was trying to settle under it, but Nunnikoven, who was playing center at the time, came flashing in front of him and made a running catch to get out of that second inning. 0-1 the count from Yates. We'll get to his numbers on the year in a second. This one bounces in there. Good stop by Arnold, 1-1. Yates, we mentioned, has been the de facto ace for Oskaloosa, a team that's full of guys who can pitch. 11 guys have pitched at the varsity level this year for the Indians. Yates has been the best. 3-0 the record, 18 innings of work, a .39 ERA. Opponents hitting just 105 against him, 11 strikeouts and 7 walks in 18 innings. There's the called strike, 1-2. He's not a strikeout pitcher, but he pitched really well and only threw 90 pitches on Monday in a complete game effort against Newton. That 90 pitches was right on that line to make him available for tonight's game, which was a huge break for Oskaloosa. This one, a little half swing that flares out into shallow right field. Miller dives but can't make the play. Spry has to hustle out into right field to hold the runner at second, and he does a great job at doing so. That's good team baseball. Miller sold out to try to make the catch. Couldn't quite do it, but Spry's hustle holds the runners at first and second. Miedema will get credit for the base hit. Miedema, just his second hit of the season in limited action. So a little blooper, the Texas leaguer, as you hear it called every once in a while, makes it runners on first and second, and still nobody out. And the first pitch popped up, left side, foul territory. Will there be a play made? There will not. Just out of the reach of the players over the fence on the left side. 0-1 to Avery Van Zee. Van Zee is 1 for 2. Tyler Hillman, a dangerous batter, 2 for 2 on deck. So Oskaloosa would love to try to get an out here, maybe even a double play. Oski with a 6-4 lead. Yates, the new pitcher for Oskaloosa. Pitch on the way on the 0-1 is up and away. 1-1. Van Zee doubled off the fence in left field in the first and then struck out looking against Sarver in the third. One of 3 strikeouts that Sarver was able to accumulate. Well, the outfield is well around to the left side as this one fouled out of play right side. Quickly 1-2 here to Van Zee. And by way around, they are, I would say, a solid 20 yards from the normal positions in center and right. And the left fielder, Nunnikoven, a few steps toward the line in left field. And they're playing deep in center and left and pretty shallow in right. 1-2 the count. Van Zee swings and a little chopper. This is a fair ball. Harrington's got one place over to first. What a play made by Peyton Krause, reaching over in front of the baseline, making the play as Van Zee is erased 5-3, but he gets the job done in a way. Although he was hoping to get on base, he moves both runners into scoring position. And now Tyler Hillman, who just missed a high sky home run. That ball was way up and just missed going over the high fence over in left field. Fence is double the size in left field, protecting the hill and the spectators for the softball diamond. And it just hit the top of that, robbing him of what could have been a home run. Instead, it was a double, and he scored a run later in the inning as the first pitch is strike to him here. 0-1 the count, 1 out, runners on second and third as Pella looks to try to tie the game here in the top of the fourth. That pitch just off the outside corner. Good frame attempt by Arnold, unable to get the call from home plate umpire Todd Richards. 1-1. Outfield more straight up this time for Hillman. Another dangerous batter, and Jaden Rolfs is on deck. 1-1. Big swing and a miss. Nice breaker there from Yates, and the count now 1-2. Hillman also had an infield single after a really tough hop. Went around Harrington, and he was able to leg it out for an infield hit, and a run scored in the first. The 1-2. That's just fouled straight back to the screen, and it's 1-2 yet again. Pella wearing those striped uniforms, reminiscent of the Houston Astros uniforms of the late 70s and 80s, except instead of the red and yellow, it's dark green and light green across the uniform horizontally. A really fun look. 1-2 the count. That pitch well high, no chase from Hillman, a senior. One of 3 seniors in the order and one of 5 seniors on this team. He is a seasoned hitter, that's saying the least. 2-2. That pitch popped foul out of play right side. And pitch number 7 of this sequence is going to be on the way. By the way, if you're wondering, Yates has 90 pitches left this week, which should be plenty considering that he's asked to come and finish 4 innings. Bennett Spry and Tucker Nunnikoven among the other pitchers that are available should Coach Gingrich need them later in this game. Out of the stretch, this pitch is hit high in the air, center field. Sarver backing up. This should be deep enough to score a run. It is caught. Runner on his way from third. The throw comes back in quickly to hold the runner at second, but another sacrifice fly. The third one of the game successfully executed by Pella. This time it's Tyler Hillman, sacrifice fly to center, and that cuts the Oski lead in half. It is now 6-5 here with 2 outs. Lambert scores from third. Miedema stays at second. And that'll bring up Jaden Rolfs, the number 3 hitter. 1 for 1 in the game. Sacrifice fly to left for an RBI in the first, and then a single up the middle. They were swung all the way around to the left last inning, and he singled right at center field, but he's hit with the first pitch here. Yates not happy with himself in that regard. Just the second batter that Yates has hit this season, and the second time that Rolfs has reached on a hit by pitch. So he's aboard. So runners on first and second. And the cleanup hitter, Joel Ryder, who was singled twice to the left side. And it looks like there's going to be a courtesy runner for Wolves this time. Trying to catch the jersey number. It is Colby Van Gort. He's going to get credit for the courtesy of the catcher, Jaden Rolfs. Once again, courtesy runners can enter any time that a catcher or a pitcher reach base, as long as it's the same one. So Van Gorp is a freshman. He's at first. Runner on at second as well. The pitch fouled straight back by Ryder, 0-1. As mentioned, Ryder 2 for 2, 2 singles to the left side. He's also scored a run in the ball game. It's 6-5. Oskaloosa with a 1-run lead as the teams continue to exchange runs in this game. This is just a single varsity game, one of 3 games that these teams will play against each other this year. The doubleheader in Pella scheduled for Monday, June 26th. That pitch misses. It's 1-1 here to Ryder. Landon Vanderleest is the scheduled hitter on deck. Yates still in the stretch. 1-1. That ball popped up right side. Miller charging in, still running in, and makes a running catch in right field to end the inning. Oskaloosa surrenders 1, and we're halfway home, but the Indians still lead it 6-5 over Pella here in the Little Hawkeye Conference matchup on the No Coast Network.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call timeout to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-ALD.
Only 1/2 inning has not yielded a run for one of these two teams. Pella has scored 2 in the first. Oski answered with 2 of their own in the first. Pella went scoreless in the top of the second. Oski scored 3 in their half of the second. Pella answered with 2 in the top of the third. Oskaloosa battled back with 1 in the bottom of the third. And Pella scores 1 in the top of the fourth. We head to the bottom of the fourth. 6-5. Oskaloosa still with a 1-run lead. And it appears that Landon Vanderleest is still doing some work out there. Vanderleest has battled through the first 3 innings. He's thrown 72 pitches thus far. We're not sure exactly how many he's thrown on the week. Coaches don't provide that kind of detailed information to us yet. I'm sure as the season wears on, it'll be a little bit easier to document. First pitch, low and away, and gets all the way to the backstop to Ethan Arnold, 1-0. Arnold is 1 for 2 in the game. Hit a single in the left field. Casey Hill stole a base, scored a run running for him as a courtesy runner. As Vanderleest out of the windup, the 1-0, in there for his strike, 1-1. In the second, he hit into a fielder's choice. That was hit to third base. Tanner DeCock ended up getting erased at home plate after a throw kind of squirted away from third. Tried to score, but was gunned out by Joel Ryder at the plate, as that's a foul ball from Arnold, 1-2. The junior right-hander Vanderleest is battling, to say the least. That pitch low and away, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes with nobody out, nobody on, leading off the bottom of the 4th inning as we near the top of the 9 o'clock hour. Again, we appreciate you for joining us as the wind and delivery bounces in there, and it's full, 3-2. Arnold will be followed by the designated hitter Blake Van Veldhuizen. Peyton Krause in the hole. Those are your 3 scheduled hitters this inning for the Indians. We'll see how long Vanderleest has. Remember, 180 pitches in a week is all you can use for a sophomore, junior, or senior, as this is fouled out of play again. Full count. This pitch will be pitch number 79 for Vanderleest. So nobody working right now in the Pella bullpen. It could be another player who gets summoned as this ball hit hard into center field. Backing up is Van Zee. He's there about 5 or 6 feet in front of the wall in center. And a long fly out to center starts this 4th inning, 1 away. Van Veldhuizen now the batter, the designated hitter. He's now batting for Yates, who came on to pitch. Started the game batting for Cole Kraber. He's 1 for 1, RBI single last time up in the 2nd. First pitch, chops it through the right side. That's a base hit. And Gabe Thomas will get it back in. I thought maybe he would think about throwing it to first, try to get Van Veldhuizen, but instead it'll be another single. He's 2 for 2 with a walk and an RBI. So he's starting to get the bat working, Van Veldhuizen. Came into this game batting .295 on the year. He's at first, and Peyton Krause, the night sky upon us here in Oskaloosa. Krause 1 for 1 with an RBI as well. Walked in the first, singled in the second, and drove in a run. First pitch, strike at the knees, 0-1. Pella doesn't play until Monday as well. I have a doubleheader against Dallas Center Grimes. So a couple of built-in days rest for anybody who, Vanderleest or anybody else that might throw tonight. That pitch fouled off by Krause, and it's 0-2. Bennett Spry on deck, barring a double play. He'll have a chance to bat here in the bottom of the 4th. Oskaloosa leading it 6-5. Coach Gingrich. It looks like Coach Gingrich is going to pinch run for Van Veldhuizen. I think he was thinking the same thing. He doesn't want to hit into a double play here. Van Veldhuizen not the fleetest of foot. And Casey Hill will now be the pinch runner for Van Veldhuizen, which eliminates him from being Ethan Arnold's courtesy runner anymore. But that's all right because Arnold's spot is 9 spots away in the order. So that's a move right there for Coach Gingrich to try to stay out of a double play with Van Veldhuizen and Krause, not your fastest runners. So Hill on at first. And this flared out line drive right at the right fielder, Thomas, who takes a couple of back pedal steps and makes the catch for the out. I hang with him there for Krause. A little bit more elevation. That might be extra bases and potentially an RBI. So now it brings up Spry. Two outs and a good runner on with Hill at first. Spry 0 for 1. Left-handed batter. Steps into the box, that open stance. Had Hill leaning a little bit, but diving back in safely on the pickoff throw is Hill. Two outs. Spry waiting for the first offering from Vanderleest. Out of the stretch, runner goes. This is fouled straight back on a little hit and run action from Coach Gingrich with 2 outs. Spry in this game is 0 for 1. He had a successful sacrifice fly out in the right field for an RBI, and then back in the second, grounded one. Joel Ryder made a nice play running in, rob him of a bunt hit. Spry, one of the best bunters you'll see, can put it pretty much wherever he wants, and with his speed, he can get it on base. But Ryder read it, charged in, and made a nice play to retire the side in that second inning. Spry batting in the 6th spot. Runner again goes. This one a called strike in the outside corner. Great throw, and the throw is in time. 2-6, the caught stealing as Hill is erased, and we'll head into the 5th. Oskaloosa still leading 6-5 on the No Coast Network.
Dreams start early. Illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
At Gardner Collier Jewelry, our goal has always been to provide you with the very best jewelry for your money. From plain gold wedding bands to the most exquisite diamond ring, Gardner Collier has it. Our huge selection is sure to exceed your expectations, and our service is second to none. From sterling silver fashion jewelry to the one-of-a-kind diamond fashion piece, Gardner Collier can fill your jewelry desires. For the very best value in fine jewelry, choose Gardner Collier, Quincy Place Mall, Ottumwa, and Penn Center Mall, Oskaloosa.
Ryan Yates finishes up his warm-up tosses for the inning, and as he does that, we welcome you in. You're watching and listening to Oskaloosa Baseball as they host Pella in a single varsity game in the Little Hawkeye Conference. Live audio on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN. You're watching a live video stream, one of our 5 live video streams on the season on RadioKMZN.com, on the KMZN mobile app as well. We appreciate you for joining us. Oskaloosa, as we enter the top of the 5th inning, leading 6-5 over Pella, and Pella bringing up Landon Vanderleest, Caleb Piersma, and Gabe Thomas, 5, 6, and 7 in the order to face Yates. Vanderleest is 0 for 1 in the game, a sacrifice fly and an RBI in the first, and then in the third, he reached on a fielder's choice. The first pitch, he fouls off 0-1. That fielder's choice was a big play in that third inning as Pella scored 2 runs in the inning. He hit a little hard ground ball that looked destined for left field, but a diving play made by Nick Harrington knocked the ball down just before it went out of his grasp, and he won a race to third base to get an out and help limit the damage in that third inning with Seth Sarver on the hill. That pitch misses. It's 1-1. Nobody out, nobody on, leading off this 5th inning, just past the top of the 9 o'clock hour. Beautiful night for baseball as we enter the weekend, Friday after 5, the first of 3 Friday after 5s in Oskaloosa this summer, down on the Oskaloosa Square. One of many fantastic events they have down there all summer long, including the band concerts on Thursday nights, as there's a swing and a miss. 2-2 here to Vanderleest. Caleb Piersma, who's 1 for 2, is on deck. Gabe Thomas, who's 0 for 1 with a walk in the hole. The 3 due-up batters to face Ryan Yates for the first time. 2-2 on the way. That's fouled straight back. Vanderleest has battled on the mound and also has proven to be a tough out at the plate. Outfield, straight up for the most part. Nunakoven in left and Sarver in center are about 2 steps to the left side. Is that pitch low? 3-2 now, the count to Vanderleest. Tyler Miller in right field is a couple of steps in, but is about in the normal spot straight up. There is a big gap in right center field for the right-handed batting Vanderleest. Here is the payoff pitch from Yates. And that just misses off the outside corner for Yates' first walk of the game in relief. Yates did enter with 7 walks issued in 18 innings of work. So a little bit more than once every 3 innings he'll walk a batter. Not much of a strikeout guy either. He thrives on having players make weak contact to his fielders. One of the best defenses in this conference and in the state in Class 3A. Unfortunately, he walks a man there, and Vanderleest is on at first. And Caleb Piersma bats with nobody out and the runner on. Kraus holds the runner on. First pitch is hammered down the left field line. That ball is going to tail foul. Just a long strike for Piersma. He struck out looking against Sarver in the first and then singled in a run in the third out in right field. It's a little blooper. It dropped in front of the right fielder at the time, Cole Kraber. Same outfield setup here for the right-hander Piersma. Couple of steps to the left side for the center and left fielders with the right fielder Miller about straight up, maybe a step in. And that pitch misses, and what a dig over there at first base by Kraus on a low throw by Arnold, trying to throw behind the runner. 1-1 the count. Arnold not afraid to throw to first base, and that is because he's got a first baseman in Kraus who can dig out almost anything. Very rarely will something get by him, even though a throw did get by him earlier in this game. Baseball's a game you can't get them all, as that pitch misses low. 2-1. It's all about percentages. And you got a guy who has saved so many errors in his career at first base, and Peyton Kraus, and it just goes unnoticed to a lot of people. He's holding the runner on at first base, and the 2-1 from Yates on the way is low and away, and it's 3-1 to Caleb Piersma. The senior will be followed by the sophomore right fielder Gabe Thomas, who's on deck. Nobody out, runner on at first, Oskaloosa nursing a 1-run lead, 6-5. Top of the 5th inning. Single varsity game here tonight. Kick in the pitch. Yates delivers ball 4. Back-to-back walks to start the inning. And now assistant coach Bill Almond is going to jog out to the mound to chat with Yates. If you missed it, Coach Almond is going to be honored tomorrow. He is being inducted into the Senior Babe Ruth Hall of Fame. He's given back to baseball for a long time. Been in the game a while. Head assistant for Coach Gingrich. Noah Van Veldhuizen is warming in the Oskaloosa bullpen down the right field line in case he's needed. He's also one of the several players available for Coach Gingrich's use tonight. Coach Almond will now make his way back to the dugout. 5 minutes past the top of the 9 o'clock hour on a beautiful night in Oskaloosa, and Ryan Yates going to try to work out of a jam here. Nobody out, runners on first and second with Gabe Thomas, the number 7 hitter, at the plate. Yates digs into the rubber, and now we'll look in. Checks first for a moment. Kraus playing in front of him. Corners are on the edge of the grass. The first pitch called strike to Thomas, 0-1. Maybe thanking bunt here. But they're not super close in. They're just playing on the edge of the grass. Thomas is 0-1. He walked in the second, was caught stealing as well, and then struck out looking. The third of the 3 strikeouts from Seth Sarver. That pitch, check swing, misses outside, 1-1. A little bit more of Sarver swinging around the left, a couple more steps. He's about 5 or 6 steps toward left center field now. Still a pretty big gap in right center field. The 1-1. Shows bunt, lays it down right in front of the plate. It is Arnold. He's got one play. It's to first. Strong throw in time by a half step. That's an important out, but an excellent bunt by Gabe Thomas to move the runners along. So with ducks on the pond and 1 out, it is Camden Lambert. Lambert, we mentioned, came into this game just 0-1, having appeared in just 3 games, mainly as a defensive replacement. He also was hit by a pitch and limited action. In this game, he is 0-1, popped out to second in the second, and then drew a walk and scored a run in the 4th. That was against Sarver. That was the last batter Sarver faced, and the first pitch called strike from home plate umpire Todd Richards. 0-1 the count, 1 out. Runners on second and third here for Pella as they look to try to tie it or take the lead here in the top of the 5th. Ryan Yates looking to keep him right there with Van Veldhuizen warming in the Oski pen. Little check swing, and it's just going to be just foul by about a foot. And as Peyton Krause came charging, he would have had no play at home. So that turns out to be a break for Oskaloosa. The game remains a 1-run game in favor of the Indians, at least for now. Oh, 0-2. Can Lambert battle back, or can Yates get the out pitch? Here we go. And looking back behind the runner, faking the throw to second and holding on to it as DeYoung kind of snuck into second base late there. Diving back in head first was Piersma. Yates sets now the 0-2. That's up high. No chance for a chase from Lambert. The freshman held steady, 1-2. As mentioned, Lambert just a freshman. Although he hasn't played a whole lot this season, that doesn't mean he's not going to have a long career as a regular for Pella and Coach Jesse Jablonski. Yates delivers a 1-2. Another hook that doesn't drop down into the zone. And it is 2-2. Van Veldhuizen, Noah Van Veldhuizen that is, has come back into the dugout. So looks like he is ready if needed for Coach Gingrich. Yates. Too long of a look in. Lambert calls time. He'll step out. The Pella dugout making a lot of noise. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, and ducks on the pond. Yates sets and fires. Oh, just off the outside corner. A groan from the Oskaloosa contingent here. And Lambert indeed works the count full here. 1 out. Runners on second and third. Caden Miedema, the number 9 hitter, is on deck. Pella down by 1 run as Yates now will step back off of the rubber for a moment. We mentioned he threw 90 pitches on Monday. Allows him to be available for this game, but he's not on full regular rest. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A big-time strikeout for Ryan Yates. And that makes it 2 outs with ducks on the pond for Caden Miedema. First strikeout in relief for Yates, and it was a big one. And now it's up to Miedema. Miedema had a little bloop single out in the right field. Last time up, he's 1 for 2. Also flew out to center. Big hack, no contact. 0-1 the count. This is a big moment of this ball game. Tying run 90 feet away. Go ahead run at second for Pella with less than 2 outs. A strikeout for Gates, and what can happen here with Miedema? The 0-1. That's in the inside corner for a strike, and it's 0-2. He's 1 strike away from getting out of the jam. By the way, he did this to himself, you could say. A couple of walks to get a couple of free bases on, and then a sacrifice bunt to put him in scoring position. Can he find the last strike? The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and he does. Ryan Yates works himself in and out of trouble, and we'll head to the bottom of the 5th with Oskaloosa maintaining their 1-run lead, 6-5 over Pella here on the No Coast Network.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and beyond. Whether commercial, residential, or land, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be the area's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye edge.
Oskaloosa with a 6-5 lead, a huge moment of the ball game, and Ryan Yates able to strike back-to-back batters out to get out of it with nothing across. We head to the bottom of the 5th, and the Indians still with that 6-5 margin. Bennett Spry, he was in the middle of an at-bat when Casey Hill was caught stealing second. Last inning, he'll lead off, followed by Nick Harrington and Alex DeYoung, the 3 due-up batters for Oskaloosa to face Landon Vanderleest, who is still plugging away out there for Pella. Vanderleest enters this inning with 85 pitches. We mentioned we don't know how many pitches he pitched earlier in the week, but what we can tell you is that the only number that matters is 180 of the week. You can't throw more than 180 in any 1 week. So with Pella down by 1, he's been pitching fairly well the last few innings. He's still out there, as the first pitch is a strike to Spry, who's 0 for 1. The 0-1. That ball popped foul out of play left side. 0-2 the count. Spry sacrificed fly and an RBI in the first, and he grounded out to third on a bunt hit attempt in the second. Also, not before long, Vanderleest will eclipse 91 pitches as this ball hammered into the right center field gap. That's going to get down. That's extra bases for Spry. He's around first on his way to second. He's taking a look at third, but will pull up at second for a leadoff stand-up double. That one was cranked out in the right center field. Maybe that'll be what gets him going again. As Harrington will bat now as Oskaloosa looking for important insurance runs for the later portion of this ball game. Harrington's 1 for 2. First inning, he flew out to center, and in the third, singled into left and came around and scored a run. Vanderleest, long look in. First pitch on the way, showing bunt, pulling back and taking a ball low and away, is Harrington 1-0. At the corners they're coming in, but the first baseman, Lambert's the one going to be charging more. Somebody's going to have to cover third base as Spry goes there, if the bunt indeed is called for. The 1-0 from Vanderleest out of the stretch, slide step, again, just barely squaring around, then pulling back and taking another pitch low is Harrington, 2-0. The next pitch is going to put Vanderleest on the shelf until at least Tuesday. Until Wednesday next week, because he'll be required 4 full days off, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. That pitch up high, throw behind the runner, trying to dive back in is Spry. Well done. That's a good throw by Jaden Rolfs, just making sure that Spry didn't go too far on that secondary lead to third. And a good effort on the tag attempt by Tyler Hillman at short. 3-0 now to Harrington as that pitch way up and in. Spry still the runner at second, and we'll see if Harrington's taking all the way on 3-0 here. The moon is just out over the left center field wall. A little bit of cloud cover, making it a little foggy, but a beautiful night to watch a ball game here in Oskaloosa. As that pitch low and inside, Harrington draws a walk. That is the 4th walk issued in the game by Vanderleest. And Coach Jablonski is going to jog on out, and we'll see if this is all for him. Hogan Rockel is going to run for Harrington at first base. And that'll be all. Vanderleest is going to be replaced. It looks like Joel Ryder will move from third to pitch. We'll see if they just swap spots when we come back. 5th inning action. Oskaloosa looking to add on to their 6-5 lead over Pella right here on the No Coast Network.
Experience the Bruxforts difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
Layton State Bank understands that everyone's financial needs and goals are different. That's why it's essential for you to bank with a local bank that knows you personally and professionally. Layton State Bank is that bank. They understand your financial situation and work diligently to help you reach your financial goals. They're committed to working with you and for you every step of the way. Layton State Bank, serving you from Layton, Pella, and Monroe. Grow strong with us, member FDIC.
Joel Ryder taking his warm-up tosses as he replaces Vanderleest, who pitched 4+ innings, allowed 10 hits. He's responsible for both the runners on first and second. He walked 4, and no strikeouts in the ballgame. Oskaloosa doing a good job of making contact against him. We mentioned he came in as a big strikeout guy, but he did not strike anyone out tonight. We mentioned he also threw that magic number of pitches to force him 4 full days of rest, so he's unavailable until next Wednesday, which Wednesday nights are a conference night in the Little Hawkeye, so he'll likely get the call next Wednesday for Pella. We won't look that far ahead, however. They got plenty of work to do here as Ryder takes his warm-ups. On the season, he's come in 5 times as a reliever. A 0-0 record, never been the pitcher of record. He's only thrown 7 innings of work. A solid 2.00 ERA. Opponents hitting .333 against him, however. 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, and a hit batter in those 7 innings. It'll be Alex DeYoung, Seth Sarver also due up. He is on deck with runners on first and second and nobody out for Oski in the bottom of the 5th. They lead at 6-5. Ryder will be in the stretch immediately. Fires. DeYoung shows bunt, pulls back, takes a ball, 1-0. 92 pitches for Vanderleest in the game. Of those, 33 were balls. 59 were strikes. 1-0 here to DeYoung. Out of the slide step, he lays down a good bunt. Beautiful. No play anywhere. He's going to throw it to first, but it is for naught. That was just a perfect bunt down the third base line. Third baseman Landon Vanderleest, who's now over at third, had no choice but to hang on the bag at third. The call was for him to monitor third base. And by the time Ryder got over to it, there was just no chance to make a throw. DeYoung will get credit for the infield single on the bunt. Moving to second is Hogan Rockhold, who came on as a courtesy runner for Harrington, or a pinch runner, I should say, for Harrington. And that'll bring up Seth Sarver, who's been the hottest bat for the Indians all season long with the bases loaded and nobody out. Looking to blow this thing open. He is still the pitcher of record, by the way. This would go a long way to helping him lock up the victory. The pitch. That is outside. 1-0. Sarver, 1 for 1. After an 8-pitch at-bat, drew a walk and stole a base in the second as part of a double steal, which ended up scoring a run as Alex DeYoung stole home. 1-0 on the way to him here. Foul tip straight back to the screen. It's 1-1. Then Sarver in the second, or pardon, his second at-bat in the third, he doubled off the wall in right field down the line. And his courtesy runner, Tanner DeCock, who was running for him while he was a pitcher, was cut down at home plate. And that actually happened twice in the game. Time called by Sarver after the long set here from Ryder. The runners on second and third are the responsibility of Landon Vanderleest, tonight's starter for Pella. Ryder just trying to get out of it with limited damage. Runners take their leads. That pitch, a beautiful breaking ball in the outside corner to the left-handed batter, and it is 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out, and the base is juiced for Seth Sarver. The Indians looking to break it open. And backing off the rubber is Ryder, taking his time. He wants to make sure he locates a good out pitch. Outfield swung around a few steps around to the right side. Infield is in on the corners and up the middle. They're looking for a double play. The 1-2. Check swing. He went around. Strike 3. That's actually going to be called third strike. First strikeout for an Indian hitter tonight, and that's a big-time strikeout for Ryder. Tyler Miller is the batter. Back to the top of the order. He's 3 for 3. 2 bunt hits and a conventional single or an RBI and 2 runs scored. A stolen base as well. He's had a good offensive night. The infield is in all the way around this time as that just misses hitting him. 1-0. If Miller can get a hit here, it'll go a long ways to giving Oskaloosa a cushion as we enter the 6th after this inning. Bottom of the 5th, Oski leading 6-5, but the base is loaded. Infield in, outfield in a couple of steps as well. The 1-0. In the dirt. Good stop by Rolfs. 2-0. Nowhere to put him, so Ryder's going to have to locate here. And the freshman Tyler Miller has been the best hitter average-wise for Oskaloosa all season long. They're in a couple more steps on the corners. They are absolutely coming home on any ground ball. 2-0 on the way. Nice breaker on the inside corner to the righty from the right-hander Ryder, and it makes it 2-1. On deck is Tucker Nunnekoven, who is 0 for 3 in the ball game. He is due, to say the least. Long look in. Coming set is Ryder. Checks second momentarily. Kicks and fires. Another breaker in the dirt and another fantastic block by Rolfs behind the plate. But now Miller, another hitter's count at 3-1. The base is loaded and 1 out. Nowhere to put him. Ryder's got to locate a strike, and will Miller swing away? The pitch. He hits this one high and deep down the left field line in foul ground. Long run for Piersma, and he's not going to be able to get to it. Good swing put on that by Miller, but it's just foul. And it's full. 1 out, and the base is loaded. DeYoung, the runner at first. Hogan Rockhold running for Nick Harrington at second. And at third is Bennett Spry. Infield and outfield in. Joel Ryder comes set. Here is the payoff. Swing up the middle. That's a base hit. 1 run will score. Being held at third is Rockhold on the throw home. A good one from center fielder Avery Van Zee, but Miller comes through with another RBI single, and Oski doubles its lead, 7-5. On a full count pitch, Miller comes through. He is 4 for 4. That batting average is swelling right now over 600. Bases are still loaded now for Nunnekoven, who is 0 for 3. We mentioned he's due. Infield still in on the grass at all 4 positions. And the outfield, same spot. Center fielder Van Zee a couple of steps toward left field now, and the middle of the infield will be backed up as they're going to play a conventional double play depth. The first pitch misses 1-0. Nunnekoven grounded to short in the first, popped up to first in the second, and grounded to second in the third. Long set here, again, checking second. Slide step fire, that's a line drive base hit into left. Rockhold will score, being waved around is DeYoung. Up with the throw is Piersma, not in time. It's cut off, a 2-run single for Tucker Nunnekoven, and the Indians indeed break this game open. Miller pulls up at second, and again, Nunnekoven comes through. He's now 1 for 4. That'll close the book on starting pitcher Landon Vanderleest. He'll be charged with 8 runs, all of which are earned, with 10 hits, 4 walks, no strikeouts, as the first pitch in the dirt spiked in front of home plate. Good block again by Rolfs holding the runners. Nunnekoven, great speed on at first, maybe even better speed on at second with Tyler Miller. Your 2 fastest players are on the base paths for the Indians. Here's the pitch to Arnold up around the letters, and it's 2-0 as Ryder now struggling through this inning. 1 out still. 2-0 the count to your number 3 hitter in Ethan Arnold, who was 1 for 3 in the ballgame. Big gap in right center field. The pitch. And that's his called strike at the knees, 2-1. 9-5, Oskolie the lead after the 2-run single by Tucker Nunnekoven. Arnold with a 2-1 count. Ryder delivers. This ball hit foul down the left field line. And it's even, 2-2. Arnold singled into left field in the first, reached on a fielder's choice in the second, and lined out to center in the fourth. Casey Hill, as his courtesy runner, scored twice. Arnold, the catcher, of course, for Oskaloosa tonight. Runners on first and second. 1 out. 2-2 the count. The pitch. That's popped foul out of play right side. More action down in the Oskaloosa bullpen. Two and two the count, the pitch. That ball, just throwing the bat at it, was Arnold. Pops it up. This could be playable in front of the dugout, but Rolfs runs out of real estate as he runs into the fencing just before the ball lands about 3 feet in front of him. Good effort by Rolfs and the first baseman Lambert. Even the pitcher, Ryder, was in the mix. It just was in the perfect spot to where nobody could get to it. It almost looks like it's just Yates down there and on the right field line just keeping the arm loose during this long half inning. He's not a batter in the order, so just trying to stay warm. Not a new pitcher warming up for Oskaloosa, as it is now a 4-run lead. Time called. This half inning lasting a while as we're at 25 minutes past the hour. This game nearing 2 hours long. Bottom of the fifth inning. Oskaloosa already with 3 runs in. They lead it 9-5. Swing and a miss. Nice breaking ball there to get the out. The 7-pitch at bat to Arnold ends with a strikeout. Second strikeout for Ryder in relief after Vanderleest went the entire outing of 4+ innings without getting a single strikeout, despite being one of the leading strikeout guys in this rotation. The only guy with more strikeouts was Tyler Hillman. That'll bring up Blake Van Veldhuizen with 2 outs and runners on first and second. 2 fastest runners. Outfield straight up for the most part, a couple of steps to left field as that's fouled straight back, 0-1. Van Veldhuizen is 2 for 2. Drew a walk in the first, an RBI single into left field in the second, and then it singled into right field in the fourth. If Van Veldhuizen should reach to extend the inning, Peyton Krause is on deck for Oskaloosa. They lead it by 4, 9-5. And again, Ryder steps off the mound. Moon looking very nice with the cloud cover just in front of it on a beautiful night for baseball here in Oskaloosa. That pitch in the dirt squirts away. The throw's going to go to third base, and he throws it into left field. Rolfs just being too aggressive there. That will allow Miller to score. Nunnekoven to second. Miller got a read on a pitch in the dirt. That'll go wild pitch, but he scores E2 on a bad throw, and that makes Oskaloosa doubling Pella on the board, 10-5. Nunnekoven advances to second, E2 as well. 1-1 the count to Van Veldhuizen with another runner out there at second. Great speed in Nunnekoven. Everybody on the infield for the most part at normal depth now, as this is high and deep into left center field. Running over is the left fielder Piersma. He's there, he makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. But Oskaloosa plays 4 in the inning, and we'll head to the 6th. The Indians doubling up the Little Dutch, 10-5 here on the No Coast Network.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-through and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call timeout to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-ALD.
Ryan Yates now has a bigger cushion to work with. The sophomore has a 10-5 lead in his favor as Oskaloosa has doubled up Pella after a 4-run bottom of the 5th inning. Indians defensively just need 6 more outs to try to wrap up this conference game, which would be a big booster for them as they head into next week and another busy conference slate, which will start with Indianola on Monday, who came into tonight leading the conference, but playing Grinnell tonight. And if Grinnell were to win that ball game and Oski win this ball game, that's a 3-way tie at the top of this conference in the Little Hawkeye early on in the season. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, though. It's going to be the top of the order for the Little Dutch. Van Zee, Hillman, and Rolfs to face Ryan Yates. This is the second time they'll see him. And the first pitch is up and in to Van Zee, 1-0. We saw Yates kind of run down to the bullpen during the long half inning that Oskaloosa had offensively. Just staying warm. That pitch low and away. It's 2-0. Wants to throw strikes here, though. He got himself in a little trouble in the 5th with a couple of walks to start the inning, but eventually got out of it with nothing across. He doesn't want to put himself under that kind of pressure again. Here's the 2-0. That's inside, and it's 3-0. Outfield swung around to the left, but pretty big gap in right center field. Center to right center field is Sarver well into the gap in left center. Here's the 3-0. Van Zee taking all the way, takes ball 4. A 4-pitch walk. That's not what you want to see from Yates here. If you're Coach Gingrich, the one thing you want to tell your sophomore here is the one thing we need is strikes. Let your defense make some plays. We can afford them to hit it a little bit here with 5-run lead. Do not give up free bases and allow them to try to get the big inning without getting multiple hits. Tyler Hillman is now the batter, and he's had a good night offensively. Van Zee, good speed over at first. First pitch, outside corner strike, 0-1. Hillman is a senior shortstop, and he hit a little infield single that had a rough hop on Harrington down there at third base. Legged that out for a single, and he scored in the first. Right here, he hits this one foul down the right side. No chance to make a play for Tyler Miller. Quickly 0-2. He doubled off the top of the fence in left field in the third. Also scored a run there. And then an RBI and a sacrifice fly to straightaway center field in the 4th. Oski leads it 10-5, bottom of the 9 o'clock hour. We thank you for joining us here on KMZN and all over the world, radiokmzn.com. A presentation of the No Coast Network. Emery Songer with you. And the entire video crew here. It's one of our 3 baseball games we're filming live this season. That pitch misses, 1-2. Jaden Rolfs on deck, another dangerous hitter. This is a tough part of the order. You'd like to get through this quietly. Try to set yourself up for a pretty easy 7th. The 1-2 on the way. Check swing. That ball takes a bad hop off of Arnold. Allows Van Zee to go to second on the wild pitch. So runner on second and nobody out, and Hillman a 2-2 count. If you're Oskaloosa, one thing you like to think about here is the fact that you got a cushion, but if you're Ryan Yates, you just want to throw strikes. That ball is flared foul again, right side. 2-2 the count remains. Nothing over the weekend for Oskaloosa, nor for Pella. Get a chance to try to enter the week, or the weekend rather, on a strong note. It's 2-2. That's a ground ball left side, and that's going to be down the left field line. That is going to be a fair ball. Van Zee around second. He is going to score. Hillman's going to pull up at second with a stand-up RBI double. And Pella gets one back here to make it 10-6. Still nobody out and a runner on second here in at the top of the 6th. That just barely stayed fair down the line. A good diving effort by Harrington. Thought he might have knocked it down, but instead it just kind of squirted even more away from Nunnikov down the left field line, which allowed Hillman to go to second without a throw. And now Jaden Rolfs will come up, another RBI threat here for the Little Dutch. Runner at second is Hillman. Rolfs 1 for 1 in the game. That pitch up high, 1-0. Sacrifice fly and an RBI in the first. RBI single up the middle in the third. And then he was hit by a pitch in the 4th. 1-0 the count. Yates out of the stretch, kicks and delivers. That pitch off the outside corner, and it's 2-0. Coach Gingrich had Noah Van Veldhuizen throwing an inning ago in case Yates couldn't get himself out of trouble. Yates ended up striking out back-to-back batters to get out of the danger in the 5th, but right now continuing to scuffle to find the strike zone. Get some help there as Rolf swings through that inside pitch, and it's 2-1. So you'd figure if Yates couldn't get through this game all the way to the end, Noah Van Veldhuizen would be some, and he's pitched 4 times in relief already this year. 2-1. Fouled straight back to the screen, and it's even at 2. Good job by Yates to come back in this at-bat. That moon, nice and full. People still down at the softball diamond as Pella and Oskaloosa battling in Little Hawkeye Conference action down the hill, just to the east of us here. 2-2 on the way. Rolfs pops this up, playable left side. Who's going to take it? It's Young in foul ground, makes the catch for an important first out. Joel Ryder now, who's doing the pitching for Pella, will bat with a runner on second and just one out. Ryder singled into left field twice, also scored a run. He also flew out into right field last time up back in the 4th. This game 2 hours old now. Infield, outfield straight up for the right-handed batter in the cleanup spot. First pitch misses for a ball, 1-0. Runner at second is Tyler Hillman. He's got good speed. He's already scored 2 runs in the ballgame. Oski leading 10-6. This ball hit out in the right field. Long run for Miller. Diving attempt. He can't get it, and it gets by him. That's going to mean trouble for Oskaloosa. Around second is Ryder. He's on his way to third, and he is going to get there with a stand-up RBI triple. Hillman scores easily from second. Valiant effort by Miller down the right field line, but with a 4-run lead, you almost rather just have him play that off a hop. And Coach Gingrich is going to come out and at least chat with his pitcher. That ball was slicing away from Miller all the way. But when you're in the heat of the moment, sometimes you just want to try to make a spectacular play and get yourself an out instead of trying to limit the damage. It would have been probably first and third, maybe second and third. And no run scoring, but instead it's a triple, an RBI, and it's 10-7 all of a sudden. Ryan Yates' night is done. He comes back to the dugout. It's Noah Van Veldhuizen. We'll take a break while he warms up right here on the No Coast Network.
Dreams start early. Illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
Noah Van Veldhuizen warming up. He has become a relief specialist for Coach Gingrich, and he's been utilized 4 times in this role already this season. Never been the pitcher of record, 0-0 the record. 7 innings of work in those 4 appearances, a 4.00 ERA. Opponents hitting .276 against him. He struck out 7 in those 7 innings. He's walked 5. He's in a big spot here, trying to limit the damage after 2 runs have scored against Ryan Yates here in the 6th, and he's responsible, Yates is, for Joel Ryder, who is the runner on at third base. Landon Vanderleest is the scheduled batter, and Van Veldhuizen inherits the runner on third, and just 1 out here in the top of the 6th. This Pella, as usual, will not go away quietly. Nothing else changed. Yates was not in the batting order. The defense behind Noah Van Veldhuizen will remain the same as we get going here with Vanderleest digging in from the right side. Of course, Noah, the latest of a line of Van Veldhuizens we've seen pitch and play baseball, football, basketball, you name it. You'll see a Van Veldhuizen somewhere. First pitch to Vanderleest is high, 1-0. Vanderleest 0 for 1, sacrificed fly and an RBI in the first, grounded into a fielder's choice in the third, and then drew a walk against Yates in the 5th. Right-hander versus right-hander. Kick in the fire from Van Veldhuizen in there for a strike, 1-1. Noah the third, we mentioned Nate Van Veldhuizen. Graduated a couple years ago, now a star fullback at William Penn University. Was a big baseball player as well for Coach Gingrich here. As that pitch inside, 2-1. Blake Van Veldhuizen still a big part of this roster, just a junior. He's serving as a designated hitter in tonight's ball game. And then, of course, Noah here, just a freshman, was on the varsity roster in a couple of certain capacities. Didn't see a ton of time last year, as that's barely a miss for ball 3. It's 3-1 here to Vanderleest. Of course, the tragic situation during the school year with younger brother Ruben, as this ball is over the head of Harrington. Gave it a nice effort. It hit his glove and squirted in a foul ground. It'll go down as a single for Vanderleest and an RBI as another run is in. Ryder scores from third. And now with the runner on first, the tying run now comes to the plate. And that is Caleb Piersma, who is 1 for 2, a strikeout looking in the first, an RBI single in the third, and then a walk in the fifth. First pitch outside, throw down to first, and Kraus wears it to make sure it doesn't get past him. 1-0. Closes the book on Yates. Yates allows 3 runs, all 3 earned, all 3 this inning. Van Veldhuizen, before he pitches, it'll be called time. Mentioned Ruben, who was obviously another big loss for this community. But folks have rallied around the Van Veldhuizen family since then. Father Scott is an assistant coach for this baseball team, and definitely high spirits as always. And Noah, a very bright future on the diamond as in other places, but currently has fallen behind 2-0 to Piersma here. 1 out, runner on first. Oskaloosa leading 10-8, but it's getting more and more precarious by the pitch here for Coach Gingrich and his Indians. Decent lead at first for Vanderleest. Piersma at the plate, takes a strike on the outside corner. A good pitch there from Van Veldhuizen, and it's 2-1. By the way, Yates wrapped up his night, 60 pitches thrown, 33 strikes, 27 balls. Just wasn't his best outing, in relief of Seth Sarver, who also threw 60 pitches. Both of those guys will need a couple of days off before they can pitch on Monday. That pitch catches the inside corner, and it's 2-2. Good job battling back by the freshman right-hander here. 3 runs already in for Pella this inning. Oskaloosa leading at 10-8. These teams continue to exchange run-scoring innings. Runner on first, 1 out. Out of the stretch, the pitch. Way high. Good job by Arnold to make sure he snags it. And the count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on first for Pella. As they look to continue to scratch across more runs, make this game even more interesting here in the top of the 6th inning. Van Veldhuizen sets in the payoff. That ball fouled straight back. We'll do it again. It's a big at bat in the ball game. You want to get to 2 outs. That changes everything when you get to 2 outs. Kraus holding the runner on at first as mentioned. Another payoff from Van Veldhuizen on the way, and that's outside. Ball 4. Caleb Piersma draws the walk.
Piersma draws the walk. And now coming to the plate, the right fielder, number 3, Gabe Thomas.
That brings up Thomas. Gabe Thomas, that is, the sophomore in right field tonight, is 0 for 1. Drew a walk, was caught stealing in the second. Struck out looking against Sarver in the third, and then had a successful sacrifice bunt last inning. That first pitch is a strike from Noah Van Veldhuizen, 0-1, and he definitely needs to be locating now with a tying run at first base. Go-ahead run at the plate. Still just 1 out. Van Veldhuizen kicks and fires. There's a big hack, no contact, and it's 0-2. Thomas there nearly swung out of his cleats in the right-handed batter's box, and now is in the hole 0-2. Van Veldhuizen sets, kicks again, and fires. That one high, 1-2, and he's reaching back to try to throw that cheese. It's just going around face high instead of letter high. When you're coming with that fastball and elevate it, you want it to where they can't get to it, but you don't want it to where they're not going to chase it. 1-2 the count, 1 out, runners on first and second. Stepping off the mound and throwing out, and that ball is going to get into center field. Ill-advised there, and the runners will advance. He just tried to lead DeYoung to second base, but those are the kind of things the freshman will learn it with time. You just should not make that throw in that situation. You should focus on the batter. You can step off and look him back, but it makes no no real bearings to make that throw, especially when your shortstop's not in position yet. Anywho, now ducks on the pond and still a 1-2 count. The pitch on the way. That's just inside. 2-2. So he's going to have to be a little bit more careful here now with a tying run in scoring position at second base. First base is open now, but you don't want to walk anybody. You want to try to get the out here on the number 7 hitter, Gabe Thomas. You got him down on 2 strikes, the 2-2. And that's too far high again. That's ball 3. Thomas chucked his bat toward the third base dugout, thinking that he had drawn a walk, and then he scurries back over, realizing that he had the count wrong in his head, and it's a full count now. Rather than make a mistake here, you just want to make a good pitch, and if he takes it and it's ball 4, then that's the way it's going to be. Strike 3 called at the knees. Big time strikeout for Noah Van Veldhuizen for the second out of the inning. And Thomas, I think, mentally was a little bit shaken after he thought he had drawn the walk and could not make the adjustment on a great pitch by Van Veldhuizen. His first strikeout in relief. And that's the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up Caden Lambert. First pitch to him is low and away, 1-0. Lambert 0 for 2 in the game. We mentioned he's been very little used so far this season, just a freshman. Popped up to second, drew a walk and scored, and struck out. Swings and through that pitch, and it's 1-1. This would be huge if Van Veldhuizen could get out of this problem without the tying run coming across home plate. 10-8, Oskey leads it, but runners on second and third and 2 outs. That pitch just misses, maybe a little high and inside. 2-1. 2 outs. And a big spot in the top of this 6th inning. Van Veldhuizen accepts the sign, comes set, kicks and delivers. That ball popped foul, and he's 1 strike away from getting out of this. 2-2. Van Veldhuizen came on in relief of Yates, who came on in relief of Sarver. Oskaloosa led 10-5 going into this inning. It's now 10-8 in the tying run at second. The 2-2 from Van Veldhuizen to Camden Lambert on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Van Veldhuizen does an amazing job to get out of the jam. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Oskey looking for more insurance as they lead Pella 10-8 here on the No Coast Network.
At Gardner Collier Jewelry, our goal has always been to provide you with the very best jewelry for your money. From plain gold wedding bands to the most exquisite diamond ring, Gardner Collier has it. Our huge selection is sure to exceed your expectations, and our service is second to none. From sterling silver fashion jewelry to the one-of-a-kind diamond fashion piece, Gardner Collier can fill your jewelry desires. For the very best value in fine jewelry, choose Gardner Collier, Quincy Place Mall, Ottumwa, and Penn Center Mall, Oskaloosa.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
Ryder back out for another inning of work for Pella, and Oskaloosa looking to try to get some more offense on the board. They were leading by 5 going into the last half inning, but now it's only a 2-run lead, I should say, 10-8. We're 12 minutes still at the top of the 10 o'clock hour. Beautiful night on the first night of Friday After 5 in downtown Oskaloosa. A fine ball game taking place here. Looks like the softball lights down the hill have been turned off, so that game must have wrapped up. And everybody cleaned up and out of there. Don't have a score for you, but if we did, we will relay it to you. 1-0 the count to Peyton Krause. Bennett Sprite, Nick Harrington to follow here in the bottom of the 6th. Here's a ground ball, and it gets through the wickets of the third baseman. Vanderleest out in the left field. E5 to start the inning. He kind of anticipated the hop, didn't come charging in, never really moved, just was trying to suck up that big hop that was coming his direction, but instead it kind of had an anti-hop. Ended up just squirting through his legs and into left field. So Krause is aboard for Spry, who is 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Outfielders swing around to the right this time for the lefty. On the grass is Vanderleest at third. Lambert holding the runner on at first base. Middle of the infield at double play depth. Spry a good bunter. We'll see if he is asked to do so here. But a quick little soft pickoff throw by Ryder, just in case Krause had any intentions of leaving early. Bottom of the 6th, Oski leading 10-8, but would like to get some more. This pitch stays high. It's 1-0. Spry, a sacrifice fly and an RBI in the first. Grounded over to third on a bunt hit attempt back in the second, and then doubled down to the right center field gap in the 5th, and that's why you see the center fielder Van Zee well toward right center field for this at-bat. 1-0 the count. Just a short lead from Kraus. Another quick little pickoff move. I think Ryder's just waiting to see if Spry is going to tip his hand as if he may bunt. Hasn't shown bunt yet. Coming set now, working out of the stretch. Ryder fires this ball, fouled, out of play. Right side. Unplayable, I should say, as it was grounded toward the batting cages down on the right side in the Oskaloosa bullpen. It's 1-1 the count. Nobody out and runner on first and Kraus. Oskaloosa 2 runs in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, and 4 in the 5th. For Pella, 2 in the first, 2 in the third, 1 in the 4th, and 3 in the 6th. Top half of this inning. 1-1 the count. The kick and the delivery showing bunt for the first time in the sequence is Spry, but he pulls back and takes ball 2. 2-1. That's why they had Vanderlee still hanging out on the grass. He wasn't about to be fooled into thinking that Spry wouldn't lay one down. I'm sure Spry would love to bunt one toward first base and force either the pitcher, Ryder, or Lambert to come off the bag and try to beat it out down the first base line. That pitch up over the letters, and it's now 3-1, and now it's a hitter's count for Spry, who doubled last time. You'd wonder if Coach Gingrich just says, hey, Bennett, if you see a good one in this hitter's count, let's swing away. You got a big gap in left center field now with Van Zee overcompensating out in the right center after that double. Here's the 3-1. He takes a strike on the outside corner. Full count. Bennett Spry, the senior second baseman, 3-2. Kraus at first. Bottom of the 6th inning. Oski with a 10-8 lead. Coming set is Ryder. Looks in and fires. Just throwing the bat at that ball was Spry. He dialed 911 and ended up coming up with the horse high to keep himself alive. 3-2 still the count. No outs. Runner on first is Kraus, as mentioned. Not the fleetest of foot, but he can run. He's still just got a short lead, and another payoff is hammered into right field, backing up and settling under it. Can of corn for Gabe Thomas, and he's got it for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Nick Harrington, who re-entered defensively after being pinch run for by Hogan Rockhold, who scored as part of the 4-run 5th inning for Oskaloosa. Harrington drew a walk that inning. Earlier in the game in the 3rd, he singled in the left and scored by himself, and then he flew out to center field back in the 1st. More of a straight-up look in the outfield and the infield. Middle of the infield at double play depth for the Dutch. 1 out, Kraus at first. And first pitch is in there for a called strike, 0-1. It'll be interesting to see if Noah Van Veldhuizen is the guy that is asked to finish the job. I would figure that's likely, considering the fact that we haven't seen anybody else warm up for Oskaloosa. As a quick pickoff throw over to first, not in time, as Kraus really only has a 2-step lead over there. Lambert still holding him on, though. 0-1 the count to Harrington with no batting gloves on. Not much of a batting glove guy as he swings through that one. 0-2. This is the last batter that Ryder needs to face. His first batter he saw was Alex DeYoung when he came in relief last inning. 0-2 to the junior third baseman, Nick Harrington. Kraus at first, 1 out, and the pitch on the way. And that's right back up the middle and through for a base hit. That snuck right through Ryder. It's always tough for a pitcher to make a play on a ball hit that hard right back at him. And the shortstop, Hillman, dove but couldn't keep it on the infield. Harrington on with the single. He is now 2 for 3 in the game. And Alex DeYoung comes to the plate. He's 2 for 3. He singled into left field and scored after he stole home as part of a double steal from Coach Gingrich. Then he lined out to left field. Caleb Piersma in the 3rd. In the 5th, he laid down a sacrifice bunt. Turned out to be a bunt hit. And was perfectly done down the third base line. And then came around and scored a run on an RBI single by Tucker Nunnikoven last inning. Oski leading 10-8, but they'd like to add to it. Corners come in. He squares around early. Here's the pitch. He pulls back and takes the ball inside, 1-0. DeYoung did show bunt and pulled back on that line out in the third inning. So in 2 of his 3 at-bats, he's been asked to bunt or show bunt at least. As mentioned, the corners of the infield are on the grass, especially at first base Lambert. This ball popped up in the shallow center field. Van Zee is there, and he's got it for the second out of the inning. So Seth Sarver will come up 1 for 2 in the game. A walk and a steal, a double, and a strikeout looking against Ryder last inning. He's got important insurance runs on the base paths. Harrington at first and Kraus on at second. The tall lefty digs in with a big gap in left center field as Van Zee again well into the right center field gap. First pitch is chopped foul to the right side, 0-1. If you're looking ahead to the Pella half of the 7th, they're going to go 9-1-2. It will be the bigger, more reliable bats of the Pella order due up to face what we believe will be Noah Van Veldhuizen in the top of the 7th. Oskaloosa just a 2-run lead right now, but they're looking for more. The 0-1 to Sarver. High fly ball into center field. And Van Zee is going to camp under it. And he's got it for the out. 3 flyouts. Get Ryder and the Dutch out of the jam, and we will head to the 7th. Oskaloosa needing 3 outs to get the win. They lead Pella 10-8, going to the 7th on the No Coast Network.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and beyond. Whether commercial, residential, or land, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be the area's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
Experience the Bruxforts difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
Seventh inning, it is Noah Van Veldhuizen, the freshman, being asked to close it out. He would get credit for a save, I believe. Take a quick look here. And I believe that is correct. If he gets through this, I believe officially he'll get credit for a save, but again, my book, not even close to being official. Please don't rely on it to be official. But it's the 7th. It's 9-1-2 in the Pella order. Caden Miedema, the scheduled hitter in the 9 spot. And then we're back to Avery Van Zee, Tyler Hillman, a couple of dangerous bats in the Pella order. And for Pella, they need 2 runs to tie. They trail it 10-8. As we're going to get a pinch hitter for Miedema. It's River Baker, it appears. So River Baker is going to get an appearance here. He is 2 for 10 on the season, but he has 4 RBIs. But of the 8 times he hasn't reached base, 5 of them have been because he struck out at the plate. He's a lefty batter. And he takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. 24th pitch right there from Noah Van Veldhuizen. So you don't figure fatigue will be a factor in this 7th as he delivers a strike to a fellow freshman in River Baker, 1-1. So Baker, although he has the tendency to get the big hit, he also has shown a tendency to strike out. As he takes ball 2 outside. You want to just keep it in the strike zone for a guy like this. He's a lefty bat. Only 2 hits in his varsity career to this point. We'll see what he does here. By the way, Caden Miedema was 1 for 3 in this spot. His time is called. 2 balls, 1 strike. Beautiful night. Still a solid breeze going from right to left across the field. Not really helping anything except push a ball foul that's down the line, down left field. It's a big swing, no contact from Baker, and it's 2-2 the count. River Baker's a great name. Not one of those typical Dutch names you'll see, but still a very good baseball name. 2-2 the count to him from Van Veldhuizen. Swing and a miss. And there's that tendency to strike out, and the third consecutive strikeout dating back to the last inning for Van Veldhuizen. And Noah has himself one out and the base is empty, which is exactly what he wanted for the top of this order. Top of the 10 o'clock hour, you're listening to Oskaloosa Baseball against Pella on 99.5 FM, AM 740, KMZN all over the world, on radiokmzn.com with a live video stream and the KMZN mobile app. As the first pitch, a called strike to Avery Van Zee, 0-1. Oskaloosa leading Pella in the top of the 7th, 10-8. It is the top of the Pella order with one out and nobody on base. And Avery Van Zee is looking at a very radical shift here with Bennett Spry, the second baseman, about 6 feet to the shortstop side of the bag at second, up the middle, as there's a swing and a miss. 0-2 quickly for Van Zee. Van Zee doubled to lead off the game against the wall, scored a run in the first, struck out looking in the third, grounded to third in the fourth, and drew a walk and scored a run in the 6th inning. And he's going to hit a little line drive right where Spry usually is standing. A little softy, but it's going to be a single for him. That's the shift. You always risk it when you shift, of a player just hitting it into a wide open space. By the way, my name's Emery Songer. On the play-by-play call for you here at Oskaloosa High School is Tyler Hillman. We'll chat with Jesse Jablonski, his head coach, down the third base box before he steps in. He represents the game's tying run at the plate, and he is 3 for 4 in the ball game. Make that 3 for 3. The one time he didn't get on base was a sacrifice fly and an RBI. Alyssa Phillips is back in our No Coast Network studios. Miranda Keeler, our director of our video broadcast, with Titus Letzering and Alyssa Carey on camera for us here. One of our 5 broadcasts of live video on our website all summer sports season long. First pitch well outside to Tyler Hillman, 1-0. Hillman an infield single and a run scored in the first. He doubled against the wall in left field and scored a run in the third. That sacrifice fly for an RBI in the fourth, and then he had an RBI double and a run scored last inning as that ball is knocked down by Spry up the middle. They go to second, and they got him. That's tough. Van Zee kind of had to stop. He thought maybe Spry made the catch. Bang, bang play as Spry fired it to Young at short, and they'll give him the out. It goes 4-6, but a good effort by Spry made Van Zee freeze, thinking he may have caught the ball and needed to tag up. Instead, he is going to be forced out at second for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up still yet an even more dangerous bat potentially in Jaden Rolfs, who entered as this team's leading batter. In this game, he's just 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. 2 outs and a runner on first in the first pitch. Misses, 1-0. Noah Van Veldhuizen, the freshman, looking to close things out. Hillman is the runner at first, and Rolfs represents the game's tying run. Oski leading by a score of 10-8. 2 outs. This is high, right side, should be playable. Who's got the angle? Kraus wanders into foul ground and can't quite make the play. He's frustrated with himself, but he was all turned around. That wind kind of blew the ball back over his head. That was a tough play to make, but unfortunately for Oskaloosa, potential game-ending ball in the air that they can't quite reel in. And that means that Van Veldhuizen is going to have to get Rolfs out twice. Going to still have to make a good pitch here. Last time up, Rolfs fouled out in left side to the shortstop, DeYoung. Is that pitch a called strike on the inside corner? And now Pella down to their last strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tying run at the plate. Runner on at first base. 10-8, Oski leads it. And freshman Noah Van Veldhuizen looking to finish the job. Rolfs digs in. Van Veldhuizen looks at first. Comes set. Slide step fires. Just off the outside corner. It's tied at 2. 2-2 the count. 2 outs and a runner on at first. Again, Van Veldhuizen looks in. The freshman trying to have ice in his veins to finish this ball game for a win for Oskaloosa. The pitch. Spikes that. A good stop by Arnold. Quick throw behind the runner. Nothing doing. Good job getting back that time by Hillman. And the count goes full. 3-2 to Jaden Rolfs. Oh my. The tension continues to build here at the Oskaloosa baseball field. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch with 2 outs on the way. Runner goes. The pitch. High fly ball down the left field line in foul ground. It should be playable. Harrington falls down and makes the catch as he goes head over heels, reaches up and makes the play to finish the ball game. Oskaloosa holds on. Great work by Van Veldhuizen to finish it, and they defeat Pella by a score of 10-8 and move to 10-5 on the year and 5-2 in the Little Hawkeye Conference. We'll take a break, come back with the post-game show, have some interviews and the final stats after this on the No Coast Network.
Layton State Bank understands that everyone's financial needs and goals are different. That's why it's essential for you to bank with a local bank that knows you personally and professionally. Layton State Bank is that bank. They understand your financial situation and work diligently to help you reach your financial goals. They're committed to working with you and for you every step of the way. Layton State Bank, serving you from Layton, Pella, and Monroe. Grow strong with us, member FDIC.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-thru and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call timeout to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-ALD.
Dreams start early, illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
At Gardner Collier Jewelry, our goal has always been to provide you with the very best jewelry for your money. From plain gold wedding bands to the most exquisite diamond ring, Gardner Collier has it. Our huge selection is sure to exceed your expectations, and our service is second to none. From sterling silver fashion jewelry to the one-of-a-kind diamond fashion piece, Gardner Collier can fill your jewelry desires. For the very best value in fine jewelry, choose Gardner Collier, Quincy Place Mall, Ottumwa, and Penn Center Mall, Oskaloosa.
Oskaloosa gets a win. Final score tonight, it is 10-8. Oskaloosa knocks off their arch rival Pella, and it was a fantastic ball game for the Indians, but they had to earn this one as usual against a very game Little Dutch team. Pella is going to have to really play well if they're going to factor back into this Little Hawkeye Conference race, as they are now 5-7 overall and 2-5 in the Little Hawkeye. Oski knows they're going to, at least at worst, be in the second spot or tied for second place in this conference going into the weekend, as they are now 10-5 overall and 5-2 in the Little Hawkeye Conference, and that will end well. Wins like this will lend itself well when you look for seeding and maybe home games as the postseason rolls around for Oskaloosa. So good work by the Indians, making sure what they needed to do was accomplished tonight. And with that, let's go ahead and get you right into the final statistics for tonight's ball game. First, it is Oskaloosa with their 10 runs on 15 hits, 2 defensive errors with 8 left on base. Pella 8 runs with 12 hits, 4 errors defensively with 10 left on base. Seth Starver picks up the win on the mound. Landon Vanderleest, the hard luck loser, with Noah Van Veldhuizen picking up a save in my book. Not sure if that's going to be an official save in the book as well for Oskaloosa. Game time 2 hours and 28 minutes on a beautiful night here in Oskaloosa. Offensively for Pella, Avery Van Zee went 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Tyler Hillman 3 for 4, 3 runs scored and 2 RBIs. Jaden Rolfs went 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Joel Ryder went 3 for 4. He had 2 runs scored and an RBI as well. Landon Vanderleest went 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Caleb Piersma went 1 for 2. He also had an RBI. Gabe Thomas went 0 for 2 with a sac bunt and a walk. Camden Lambert 0 for 3, but he walked and scored a run. Caden Miedema went 1 for 3. River Baker 0 for 1 in the 9th spot, hitting for him. Pitching-wise, Landon Vanderleest 4+ innings of work, 10 hits, 8 runs. All 8 were earned with 4 walks, no strikeouts. He threw 92 pitches, 59 for strikes and 33 for balls. Joel Ryder, the senior, came on in relief. 2 innings of work, 4 hits, no runs, none earned, no walks, 2 strikeouts, 40 pitches, 26 strikes, and 14 balls. For Oskaloosa tonight, Tyler Miller, another offensive star, 4 for 4 with 3 runs scored and 2 RBIs. What a night for the freshman. Tucker Nedekoven, 4 at-bats. He came through big time in the 5th, though. 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Ethan Arnold in the ball game ended up going 1 for 4 with a 2 runs scored by his courtesy runner Casey Hill. Did not have an RBI in the ball game. Blake Van Veldhuizen went 2 for 3. He had an RBI as well. Peyton Krause went 1 for 3 with an RBI. Bennett Spry went 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. Nick Harrington ended up going 2 for 3. He also scored 1 run. Hogan Rockhold scored a run running for him. Alex DeYoung went 2 for 4 in the ball game. He also scored twice, including a steal of home. And Seth Sarver in the number 9 spot in the order ended up going 1 for 3 in the ball game with no runs scored as well. Seth Sarver, 3+ innings of work, 7 hits, 5 runs, all 5 earned with 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. 60 pitches, 36 strikes and 24 balls. Ryan Yates, an inning and a third in relief with 3 hits, 3 runs, all 3 earned with 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. 60 pitches, 33 strikes, 27 balls. And then Noah Van Veldhuizen did a fantastic job in relief. The freshman, 1 2/3 innings of work to finish it off with 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, 39 pitches thrown, 21 strikes and 18 balls. Oskaloosa again escapes with a 10-8 win over Pella. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have some post-game interviews for you right here on the No Coast Network.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and beyond. Whether commercial, residential, or land, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be the area's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
Experience the Bruxforts difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
Layton State Bank understands that everyone's financial needs and goals are different. That's why it's essential for you to bank with a local bank that knows you personally and professionally. Layton State Bank is that bank. They understand your financial situation and work diligently to help you reach your financial goals. They're committed to working with you and for you every step of the way. Layton State Bank, serving you from Layton, Pella, and Monroe. Grow strong with us, member FDIC.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-thru and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call timeout to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-ALD.
Welcome back. We are live here up in the press box at the Oskaloosa Baseball Diamond. Oskaloosa 10-8 win over the Pella Little Dutch. I'm being joined by the first of a few guests that we'll have up here for post-game interviews. It's Nick Harrington. Nick, congratulations tonight.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Made the final out of the ball game. Fell over there. You're telling me that you had it all the way though.
Well, I did lose it at the end, but I found it at the end, so it doesn't matter.
Catch is a catch. It goes in the book as a catch.
Exactly.
All right, so this game is important for a lot of reasons. This is a team that you guys have run into the last couple of years. You would have liked to, get to state, but they were in your way. This team for Pella a little bit different this year, but always important getting a win over the forest green of Pella here. How important is this win heading into the weekend?
Oh, man, I tell you what, our chemistry is up here right now. That's how big it is. It's amazing to get a win against Pella. It's awesome.
3-game winning streak down in the conference because you did get a sweep on Wednesday, an impressive sweep against Norwalk. And with Grinnell, who you've already beaten, and Indianola battling tonight, you guys might be by yourself in second, or you're going to be tied for first, depending on how that game shakes out with Indianola and Grinnell. So the first thing that I want to know from you is how much of this week has been a confidence boost for you guys, and how much do you guys look at each other now knowing where you might be with Pella and teams like Norwalk kind of struggling behind you?
We feel like we're in a great place right now. After getting these 3 wins this weekend, after losing, how many did we lose last 2 weeks ago? I think it was 3. After we needed these 3 wins. And so I think we'll be perfect coming into next week against Indianola. So.
All right, we see you pitching as well. We see the team in the situational offense tonight. What is the one thing you'd like to see this team kind of amp up a little bit going into next week? Any room for improvement on some things that you'd like to see?
We need to start hitting more home runs. That's what I think. So let's get some power into those bats and pop it out of here.
Well, let's see. Let's start with you, all right? Congratulations,
Yep.
man, and congratulations as well. As you can see the baseball field looking fantastic as well. Let's go ahead and get our next guest in here. Let's get Tucker Nunakoven in here. As Tucker will get saddled up here. Busy press box up here, Tucker. Congratulations tonight. You came through with a big hit in the 5th inning. First things first, what did you see in that at-bat?
Well, earlier in the game, I had a pop fly with bases, 2 guys on 3rd and 2nd. I just knew that we needed a hit, and it was a big moment, and I just did it. I just went through it, and I got the hit, and it felt really good.
2 RBIs, which ended up being the difference in the ball game. But as I asked Nick, important to beat Pella no matter what the sport, no matter what the situation. How big was it to get this first one knowing you still have 2 against them later on in the year?
It was huge. I mean, especially since the past couple of years, we kind of been down against Pella, but now that we get this first win and then brings up our confidence a bunch, and we're on a good win streak here, especially in the conference, and we're feeling good.
5-2 in the conference. I was talking to Nick about it as well. What's important is the fact that Pella, Norwalk, Dallas Center Grimes kind of in the middle, Pella Christian in the middle, and Newton bringing up the rear. You guys have already beat Grinnell, who you came in tied with. Indianola is on Monday. Going into that game on Monday, how important is it to go win on a 3-game winning streak into this weekend, get rested up and play in what will be a very tough couple of games on Monday?
It's huge. I mean, Monday is very tough games, and we need to get both those wins so we can boost our confidence even more and look forward to the rest of the season. So,
from your vantage point, what is one thing you'd like to see the team get even just a little bit better at?
I'd say cutting down on our walks for pitching. And I'd say bases loaded or runners on 2nd and 3rd, hitting the ball on the ground with no outs, 1 out, so we can get those runs in and just keep scoring.
Tucker, a big win tonight. Congratulations. Enjoy your week, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good. All
right, that's Tucker Nunakoven. Let's go ahead and get Alex DeYoung, Sparky as they call him in here, as he enters the fray. A guy that's always interesting to talk to, a Cubs fan first and foremost, right? All right, so the first thing that I find to be extremely interesting here is with this team that you just beat, is there any sort of monkey that's kind of off your back at this point, as this kind of been the thorn in your side the last couple of years?
Yeah, well, I mean, they lost Grant Junkins last year, which was a great pitcher. He's playing at Iowa right now. He's had a good big tournament or whatever. But, yeah, we just got to keep playing our place, and we can beat them. But, yeah, Grant Junkins is a big loss for them, but they're still a really good team.
Well, you guys had to earn this one. Defensively, there were a couple of moments where we weren't exactly sure about some plays, but that one up the middle that Spry knocked down in the 7th, and you were in the right spot to be able to force Van Zee out, turned out to be a huge, huge play in the ball game. So what did you see on that one? Is Harrington had a similar play for a force out at third. What did you see from the infield tonight?
Well, yeah, that one up the middle, Bennett, that was a great play. It saved, you never know what could happen after that. But I went to go get the ball, and then I saw Bennett go get it, so I had to get back to cover second. And then Nick, usually I should be there to call him off because I have a better angle, but I lost it. He was there to catch it. So we're playing good defense right now. Got to figure little things out, but defense is doing pretty well right now.
We talked about the winning streak with the other guys. This is an important win streak because Pella or Indianola, who you're either going to be just behind, they're going to be the only team ahead of you in the conference, or you're going to be tied with them going into Monday. And it factors in the conference. I know you guys, the end goal isn't to win the conference, but the end goal involves winning a lot of games to get yourself home field advantage and set you up to try to make a deep run and maybe make it to Principal Park this year. So how important do you see those two games on Monday being?
They're big games. Indianola's a really good team. We just got to keep playing the way we're doing, hitting the ball, doing the little things right. We got to throw more strikes, I feel like. We're just struggling a little there, walking kids. But if we do the little things right and throw strikes, it's big games. We can get on top of the conference and go from there.
All right, Sparky, thanks so much for joining us. Go Cubs go almost.
Yeah, go Cubs go.
I think the Brewers are in first place, but that's for a different topic and a different conversation. Here is Coach Clint Gingrich as he gets in there. I could talk about how terrible the Cubs are all day, but Coach Gingrich, we're going to talk about how good the Oskaloosa Indians are. Congratulations on the win tonight, and take me through what you saw from your vantage point. Seth Starver, not necessarily his strongest outing. Ryan Yates in relief, not necessarily his strongest outing. Noah Van Veldhuizen, the freshman, gets the call, and you somehow patch your way through this one to get a win. What did you see from your guys tonight?
Oh, man, they just battled all night. They, from the very beginning, Seth goes out and competes and minimizes that inning. They get 2 runs, and we come right back in the bottom and get another 2 to tie it up. And then I think the next one we put up a 0, then got another 2, so the score is 4-2, and then it went back and forth all night. And we knew that we were going to kind of have to patch one together here, but our guys just grinded it out all night, and that was fantastic to see. And I'm so proud of them. The only guys we had left on the bench was Keaton DeCock, and he's got to be there in case defensively we got to move guys around and put them behind the plate. And Ethan Kelderman under that. We had guys running, guys re-entering, we had guys doing everything tonight. And last year we beat this team, and it's a similar thing. It takes every single guy to beat good teams, and this is a good team, and that's for sure. And this is a huge win for us as we continue to pick up some conference wins.
2 wins on Wednesday, which were big. Then you had the win tonight. You're going into Indianola on Monday. How important do you find the momentum being? Because in the conference race and in terms of this conference race is going to be important in terms of wins and losses based on the seeding that you're going to get district-wise. What are your thoughts momentum-wise going into Monday, and how big do you see those games?
Oh, it's huge. Baseball's any sport's about momentum. So when you have guys step up like Noah Van Veldhuizen tonight and take the ball and win a huge game for us, that's awesome for a team. And you have guys grind out at bats. I think our quality at bats tonight were 65%. That might be a high in the recent week, which is great to see. Guys are grinding out at bats. Guys are executing on the bases. Guys are making defensive plays. And I think Nick Harrington made a diving play. Bennett Spry made a diving play in the last inning. Nick Harrington makes a circus catch on the left field line to win a game. And you can make the routine plays and a couple spectacular plays, you can beat good teams.
All right, so Pella is a good team, and it's probably at some level a monkey off your guys' back to just get the first one against them, knowing you have to go there. No matter Grant Judkins or no Grant Judkins, it's tough to win up at that baseball field. So you got a doubleheader there in a couple of weeks. Indianola coming up. There's still a lot of work, I'm sure, that you're hoping to preach to these guys as you kind of move along through this season and try to pick up some more wins. What are the couple of the highlights that you're trying to get these guys on the right track prior to us getting into the thick of this season?
The thing that, and we talked about it, and they know it, I just asked the guys after the game what kept Pella in the game, and it's walks, especially leadoff walks. Every time we start an inning with a walk, that guy has a pretty good chance of scoring. And we got ourselves in some trouble because of that. We need to tighten the belt there and pitch to contact. And we got some of the fastest guys in the outfield in the conference. We got a great infield that guys can field it. So we just need to utilize our defense and pitch to contact and pitch ahead. And I know our guys will bear down and continue to get better as that throughout the season.
All right, Coach. Excellent win, excellent matchup on Monday against Indianola, doubleheader. It's going to be weird seeing Indianola here for conference games, both softball, baseball. We'll be at the softball team, but good luck. We'll be talking about it next week, and we'll be seeing you next week.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate you guys coming out and supporting us.
As Coach Clint Gingrich, we'll come back after a break, wrap things up after this right here on the No Coast Network.
Dreams start early. Illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
At Gardner Collier Jewelry, our goal has always been to provide you with the very best jewelry for your money. From plain gold wedding bands to the most exquisite diamond ring, Gardner Collier has it. Our huge selection is sure to exceed your expectations, and our service is second to none. From sterling silver fashion jewelry to the one-of-a-kind diamond fashion piece, Gardner Collier can fill your jewelry desires. For the very best value in fine jewelry, choose Gardner Collier, Quincy Place Mall, Ottumwa, and Penn Center Mall, Oskaloosa.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities. Where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success. Where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and beyond. Whether commercial, residential, or land, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be the area's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
Experience the Bruxfort's difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
Welcome back. We are live right here in the press box of the Oskaloosa High School Baseball Diamond. We appreciate you for joining us tonight. Oskaloosa defeats Pella by a score of 10-8. Oski now 10-5 on the year, 5-2 in the Little Hawkeye Conference. A massive doubleheader against Indianola here at home coming up on Monday, so you're not going to want to miss that. That actually is the next game for the softball team as well. They have a doubleheader against Indianola, and we'll have that on radio on Monday night. It starts at about 5:45, 6 p.m. the first pitch. Indianola here in Oskaloosa on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN all over the world on radio, KMZN.com, and the KMZN mobile app. I'd like to thank everybody for helping us on the broadcast as we have a baseball and softball free weekend here. I'd like to thank Alyssa Phillips back in the No Coast Network studios, our television director Miranda Keeler, our camera operators Alyssa Carey and Titus Letzring. for doing a fantastic job, as always, here on the No Coast Network. Once again, Oskaloosa gets the win, and they'll be going into a big doubleheader against Indianola with plenty of momentum moving forward. You can check out our websites for more information, our apps as well. Go to radiokmzn.com or download the KMZN mobile app, and you can get all things Oskaloosa sports, especially here in the summer. That'll wrap things up for everybody here. I'm Emery Sanger signing off. Oskaloosa defeats Pella 10-8, and you heard it and watched it all right here on the No Coast Network.
This has been Oskaloosa Baseball on your home for the Indians. 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN and all over the world at radiokmzn.com. Oskaloosa Baseball has been presented by Craig Ford, Mahaska Bottling Company, Fairway Stores, Mahaska Drug, Bank Iowa, Bruxford's Decorating Center, Dr. Tom Bowie, Gardner Collier Jewelry, Hawkeye Real Estate, Community First Credit Union, Musco, Pella Printing, William Penn University, TD&T Financial Group, Oskaloosa Vision Center, Clow Valve Company, Oskaloosa Area Chamber and Development Group, Lighton State Bank, Penn Central Mall, Fred's Muffler Shop, and Robert Ald Investments. This has been Oskaloosa Baseball on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN and all over the world at radiokmzn.com. This has been a production of No Coast Network.